Alrighty, welcome everybody back to our latest live stream. I hope everybody's doing well today. We have a lot to get to in this live stream, including the ongoing severe weather. We actually have one tornado warning right now ongoing just east of Denver, Colorado, so we're going to be watching this storm fairly closely over the next several minutes. A couple quick announcements before I get too far into this. I just want to mention that gifting subs is actually now a thing here on our YouTube channel. I just realized it. So if you are a member, you can click the little money symbol, and you actually can gift memberships on our channel if you want to. Other than that, that's really our only announcement, actually. But we have a lot to get to in this forecast. Let's get right into the ongoing tornado warning. Again, this is just to the southeast of Denver. It was issued a few minutes ago, but we're just getting on live now. This is an ongoing storm with a pretty strong inflow as of right now, and it has a little bit of a hook. Definitely a lot of hail as well with this. It's up to golf ball sized hail, heading off to the northeast as of right now, so definitely a storm to watch fairly closely over the next several minutes. Again, this is going to be tracking off to the northeast probably within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Going to be going towards the interstate, or not 15, excuse me, about 50 to maybe 60 minutes. It'll be going toward interstate 70, but as of right now, this is an ongoing tornado warning storm, and it is also producing some golf ball sized hail. Let's get over to the velocities as of right now. The velocities have not been very impressive with this, but we very well could maybe even see a land spout of some sort, because there isn't a whole lot of tightening of rotation, at least on radar. Now, if we go a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, it was a little bit more depicted before, not nearly as depicted now, but it has a fairly strong inflow going to the storm. It definitely could become more of a tornadic supercell as it moves off to the northeast. A bit more of a favorable setup, it looks like, just east of Denver. Over the next couple of hours, we'll start to see a bit of an increase in that low-level shear, so that'll be something to keep in mind here over the next, 30 to 60 minutes. I mean, it's definitely going to be going to a bit more of a favorable atmosphere overall, but definitely some up to golf ball-sized hail right now, going again toward interstate 70. Again, here's your inflow going to the storm and your little hook as of right now. Other than that, we have a couple of other cells right now over in Colorado. This is our other one right now south of Lemon, and that's going off to the as well as off to the east, I believe. This is actually going to be going toward Hugo. It is producing damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as that threat for some golf ball sized hail. Again, that is tracking off to the east, most likely toward Hugo over the next little while. A few more storms back out to the south of Denver as well, but again, this is our main tornado warned storm as of right now. Just to give you a bit more of a view at that, as right now we have actually another storm over in western Colorado, a severe thunderstorm watch ongoing in Montana, and we have a whole nother area, a whole slew of storms right now across areas like Kentucky, as well as West Virginia and southern Ohio, and a bunch of other storms as well across the Carolinas and Virginia. So a lot to watch in this forecast. We'll keep you updated again with the latest. Let's go back over to the tornado warned storm as of right now. Let's take a look at the hail being estimated by radar, because I believe we do have some pretty significant hail coming out of the storm. Again, it's heading off to the northeast as of right now. All right, let's take a look. So this is a look at as of right now, and the radar is actually estimating some fairly significant hailstone sizes. We're talking golf ball, potentially as large as hen egg at one point. And again, it's tracking off to the northeast. It's going through a good amount of fields, it looks like, as of right now, but it will be going toward interstate 70, and definitely a bit more of a busy road there, and as well as Byers. So those areas are really next in track for the storm. Again, fairly large hail overall, and then going back over here to the reflectivity, again, looking at the storm, it has a bit more of a the hook is definitely still there. It's just not nearly as pronounced as it once was at the very beginning. We're still seeing a golf ball sized hail threat though with this storm, potentially even a little bit larger than that over the next several minutes. So definitely a storm to watch pretty closely as it moves off to the east. All right, let's get to, again, if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button, by the way, if you're just tuning in. Hey Kendall, how you doing? As well as Moxie, hope you guys are all doing well. And Yoshi, welcome back. This is over in Colorado, game. This is over in Colorado as of right now. That's our ongoing tornado warned storm. Again, this is tracking off to the northeast. This is east of Denver. Reference. Hey, Christian, how you doing? Welcome back. I will likely, by the way, after this storm, I will go to the storms over in the Ohio Valley. Kind of cover that as well in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. We'll go over those storms as well, and then we'll eventually go back over here to the western plains, basically Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska. We'll go over those states as well once those storms start to spur up. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of activity yet in these areas, but we do have a few storms obviously ongoing. There will be more activity most likely to come over the next couple of hours, so it's definitely going to increase in coverage. But there is obviously that damaging line of storms back over in West Virginia as well as Kentucky, so there's definitely a lot ongoing as of right now over those directions. All right, let me just do this real quick. Cool. Which state? This is not going to go anywhere close to Illinois or anything like that. This is over in Colorado. This one will not make it that far. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, Jam, how you doing? I appreciate that. Iowa, yes, you're definitely under the gun today. It's primarily, I think, southern Iowa, though, today. If you see any severe weather, it's pretty low-end risk anyways, but there is a chance for maybe a couple of cells this afternoon. Nothing too crazy, though. All right, Sarah sent in some, I don't know if you're watching, but Sarah actually sent in amazing photos over on our Discord server of the shelf cloud. rolling through Ohio. There's a shelf cloud. There's an ongoing area of storms again over in the Ohio Valley that I've been watching pretty closely as well. That's producing a slew of damaging winds right now. Scattered to even numerous damaging wind reports over that direction. It's almost like it's not a derecho, but it is definitely some sort of MCS. I mean, I'm surprised there's not an enhanced risk of severe weather, to be honest, but we're seeing some pretty significant damage out that way as of right now. And again, there is a tornado threat tonight. This is just one of the ongoing tornado warnings. The tornado threat will actually increase back off here to the east. Let me go ahead and show you here on the SPC. This is a look at it for tonight. So here's a look at the tornado threat. Again, it's actually a little bit more prominent back out here to the east near Burlington, west of Colby. There's going to be a little bit more shear as those storms develop on those areas. So I'll be watching that area pretty closely for a bit more of a tornadic activity development at this point. Again, this area as of right now is under that marginal and slight risk of severe weather. The slight risk is in northeastern Colorado, and it goes through into areas of western Kansas and far extreme southwestern portions of Nebraska as well. That's what we're looking at as of right now. All right. As of right now, Joey, we're in the Colorado area, but we will be going over to the Ohio Valley soon. All right, let me go back to the hail radar. See if we have any new updates here on the latest on the hail. We'll also go to the velocities as well. Again, the rotation was not nearly that strong the last couple of scans. Here's a look at what we got as of right now. So again, hail right now is right around hen egg size to maybe even ping pong ball sized hail. And again, it's moving off to the northeast as of right now. Here's a look at the velocities for your reference here in terms of the rotation. And overall, there's not a whole lot of rotation here. We have definitely some strong downburst winds coming with this storm. And again, it may even be a land spout, excuse me, back down to the south, but we're seeing a lot more of damaging wind threat at this point. You can see those brighter colors. That's representing probably damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. It looks like for the main threat with this storm, and as well as that golf ball sized hail threat, we're definitely still seeing some large hailstones. And again, that's where your actual downburst winds are. It's just actually a little bit off to the north of this storm. So that's what we got going as of right now with this cell. Let's go back to the storm relative velocities. And again, yeah, brighter colors again representing some higher wind speeds. You go a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, there is some very broad rotation, but there is not much to be noted other than primarily just damaging winds right now with this cell. So that's what we're looking at right now. Nebraska will not see any storms until later tonight. You're going to have a little while until you see anything. So it'll probably at least be after 7 or 8 o'clock Central Time until you see much of anything in those areas. All right, cool. Let me do something real quick. Let me take a look if we have any new Storm Prediction Center outlooks or anything like that. It doesn't look like we do. Yeah, so as of right now, there's no new mesocyclone discussions, at least for this region. We obviously have some ongoing right now for those in West Virginia, Kentucky, and as well as into Virginia, and one up in Montana. I will not be covering Montana probably much at all tonight, but we will definitely be looking more out for those storms over in West Virginia, the East Coast, basically, Ohio Valley, and as well as the ones obviously in the Central Plains and as well as Colorado. These areas we'll be watching more a little bit later on in this forecast, but as of right now, we're primarily going to be looking at this tornado warning for the next few minutes. Again, we got an ongoing golf ball-sized hail threat right here. It's again moving off toward Interstate 70, and other than that, the rotation seems to be pretty minimal. We still have a tornado warning ongoing. Let me take a look at the details. I don't think there's any reports of anything on this. And yeah, as of right now, there's no reports of an actual tornado with this. It's again radar indicated rotation, but as of right now, the rotation seems to be minimal at this point. All moving off to the north. All right, cool. Let me find my chat. There we go. All right. Yes, yes, D, I do. Yes, we are back to regular air conditioning. I can live stream for several hours now. I don't have an issue with that. Before I had, again, for those that might be just tuning in, I had no AC yesterday on my live stream, so it was about 90 degrees in this room yesterday. Any sight of a tornado? Nope, we don't have any sight of a tornado with this storm. There's no live cams in this area, so I really can't get you much of any idea on that, but there is an ongoing, again, tornado warning. Definitely could develop. We still have a little bit of a hook there. It might even develop later on. It might just be kind of progressing right now, but as of this current moment, there is not a whole lot in terms of rotation. We have a lot more of just downburst winds right now. Again, those brighter colors are representing your damaging wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, but otherwise, there is not a whole lot there in terms of, you know, a tornado most likely right now, but it very well could develop at any time. Again, if there were to be a tornado, it would be located somewhere down here where that hook is, but we're not really seeing a whole lot of rotation down that way. If we go back over to the base velocities and whatnot, just not a whole lot there to be really representing anything. There very well could be a land spout, or there might even been a land spout, but those usually are pretty minimal in terms of damage anyways. But definitely damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and that golf ball size hail threat is still the main threats, I believe, with this storm anyways, as it moves off to the north. You know, again, we'll be going off toward Byers, excuse me, as well as Interstate 70 within the next about 20 to 30 minutes. So those up in Byers, just make sure you're getting prepared. Take those proper precautions before those storms arrive to your location. I'm doing well, Yoshi. How you doing today? Hey, Savannah. How you doing? Welcome back. Oh, yeah, power keeps going on and off? Really? That's good to hear, Yoshi. Good to hear. All right, let's take a look, a little bit more of a broad look. Again, we have an ongoing storm over here near Hugo as well. I kind of mentioned this before. This one has a lot of hail right now. You can see those black areas representing your larger hailstones. There's actually a tornado possible label on this. Let me take a look if there's any rotation on it right now. And as of right now, rotation seems to be very broad and nothing really that specific there, but there is definitely some golf ball sized hail and damaging winds again up to 60 miles per hour. And again, that's heading off toward Hugo right now. So just keep that in mind. We also got another cell back out here to the west. That's going to be going toward Larkspur as well as Castle Rock over the next hour. So those areas definitely in the track for more cells as well. Those can definitely produce maybe some hail and damaging winds as those develop and move off to the east. Bump my mic. Hey, Pro Gamer, how you doing? Welcome back. Where are these storms? As of right now, these are the ones in Colorado. We will be going over the East Coast storms as well in a little bit. I gotta fill my water bottle. I am prepared now for this forecast. I was not really prepared to go live, but I am now prepared. We're good. We're good for now. All right. Again, this is the ongoing tornado warning south of Interstate 70, and again, east of Denver. It's moving off to the northeast as of right now. We got some other cells as well up here north of Interstate 76. Those are beginning to develop. Main threat with those will be hail for right now. They very well could have a bit more of an increased tornado threat. Again, a bit more of a tornado threat out here in far western Kansas, extreme southwestern Nebraska, and as well as eastern Colorado. Again, that threat will not really begin probably until at least 6 o'clock Central Time. And again, we're in Central Time right now. Mountain Time, it's 3:11. So just keep that in mind. We're currently actually in a Mountain Time area. Thank you, by the way, Andrew, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Welcome. Hey, Katie, how you doing? By the way, I forgot to, I missed this. This was off stream, but thank you, Kelly, for becoming a tornado chaser. I do appreciate it if you're still here. Thank you. Becoming a member. That was off stream. All right. Again, this is the ongoing tornado warning. Let's go back over to the velocities, take a look if there's anything there. Again, we got some pretty strong downburst winds back up here to the north, and those moving off to the northeast as of right now toward Interstate 70. It's about to go out of that tornado warning, but ongoing rotation is still fairly broad at this point. Yeah, this is the look at the rotation. It's still fairly weak. I mean, we're still seeing, you know, there's a little bit of something there. Very well could maybe even be a weak land spout. That does occasionally happen, but at the surface, their winds are just very weak. So if there is any sort of tornado right now, it would likely be a very weak tornado, and it most likely would be brief. But again, it's in a pretty much a fielded area, so that's good news there. Again, it's going off toward Interstate 70 and Byers over the next several minutes. And moving off to the north as of right now. All right. Let's take a look at Twitter real quick. I'm guessing we don't have any images on this storm. Take a look if we have any photos on Twitter. Yeah, so as of right now, no photos on this. Again, this is in a fairly rural area, so we're not seeing a whole lot as of right now. But it is definitely going to be a storm to watch as it moves off to the northeast. Because again, it has a bit of a hook shape to it, and it's still moving off to the north as of right now. And again, that will be moving off to the north. As of right now, again, nothing on the correlation coefficient either to indicate a tornado, but we still have some strong winds with this. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Taking a look again, nothing on Twitter. So yeah, we don't have any photos of this storm at this point. Again, it's in a very rural area. It will be eventually going towards Byers, as I mentioned before, in Interstate 70. So that's kind of what we're talking about right now. Bennett also kind of in the, might just go east of Bennett, but it will be going again, kind of in between almost Byers and Bennett, it looks like as of right now, for your timing. Let me put a timing guide on this. Again, we are in Central Time right now in terms of the time on this software, but just kind of go from there. I'll kind of just subtract an hour, basically. That's all you gotta do. Let's go and take a look at the timing, though. This is on really just the storm in general. This is not just on the tornado warning storm. This is basically the entire thing. This is basically a timing guide for you. So Byers is expected to see the storm around 4:30. So you got about 15 minutes, maybe even a little bit less than that, until the storm reaches your location, at least this part of the storm. Again, that part of the storm is producing that potential for maybe some ping pong ball sized hail or even golf ball sized hail as that moves off to the northeast. And again, that tornado threat is way down to the south of that as of right now. That will probably be there in about 30 minutes or so. It's going to take a little bit longer for that to get there, but as of right now, again, the rotations remain fairly broad, so that's good news overall, but we will definitely watch this pretty closely. Again, it might be a landspout. That is, again, all to be determined. It's, again, a very rural area, so we don't have any photos or anything like that to give you any reference on with this storm. And those in Byers and whatnot, make sure you're staying aware of this storm. This is over in Colorado, tactical, as of right now. And again, if we have this tornado warning expire, we'll kind of go more over to the East Coast storms, and as well as West Virginia and whatnot in Kentucky. So just stay tuned for that. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I would appreciate it, again, if you hit the like button. Helps our page out a lot. All right. And again, this is all east of Denver right now. We got a new warning back down here to the southwest. This is near Castle Rock. I was mentioning this storm before. This storm is currently warned for quarter-sized hail and damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. Let's go and take a look at the velocities on this as of right now. And no rotation on this one really at this point. And again, this is an area that we'll have to watch for maybe a little bit of rotation. Again, this is an area back out here in eastern Colorado that has a bit of a better chance of maybe a tornado or two later this afternoon into the evening hours. So definitely an area to watch pretty closely for those areas. And there's a little bit higher of a probability out that way for maybe a tornado or two. No problem, tactical. Again, this storm heading off toward Byers as of right now. Timing for there, 3:30 Mountain Time. Central Time, it's 4:30 for those locations up that way for the storm. And then obviously the tornado warning storm are going to be there probably around 4:45 or 3:45 in Mountain Time. And as of right now, the Denver area, not really seeing a whole lot. A couple of showers back out to your west. Nothing too concerning there. We got ongoing developments back up this way. Again, these are storms I'll have to watch for not just large hail and not just damaging winds, but maybe a low-end tornado threat later on in the next couple of hours as well. So a lot to watch as of right now as these storms move off to the east. And again, if you have any questions regarding any of the weather ongoing, feel free to leave those in the chat as well. And I'll get to those. Let's see if we have any new storm prediction or SVC mesocyclone discussions. I don't think we do it as of right now. It does not look like we have any of those. But again, this severe thunderstorm watch across Colorado does go until, I believe, let's see, it got issued at 2:10 Mountain Time, and it goes until 9 o'clock Mountain Time, so 10 o'clock Central Time. Hailstone size down to 1.25, is it? Let's see, it might have gone down. It still says golf ball on this. It probably is down to $half size, maybe even a little bit less than that now. If you go and take a look at the radar here, let me go and show you the hail radar right now. Might be a little bit lower than before. Because the overall, the pinks are, it's more pink now than black, which usually when we have a little bit of those black colors, that represents, again, larger hail. This is a look at the latest hail scan, and as of now, the hail threat seems to be going down. So as of now, it looks like the largest hailstone that we've seen recently has been $half size. Back down here to the south, again, it was peaking potentially as high as baseball size. So we've seen some fairly large hail with this storm. It looks like it's going down, though, which is good news in terms of the hail threat. We definitely still have some strong downburst winds, though. If we take a look at the velocities again, those brighter colors representing your higher wind speeds, and it does not seem to be anything too crazy. Again, we got a little bit of winds up this way. Not anything it looks like to be severe, though, at this point, but we'll definitely have to watch the storm pretty closely. And it looks like we have another little development with this storm back up here to the north, so we'll have to watch that pretty closely. That's just south of Bennett, again, and south of Interstate 70. That is tracking, again, off to the northeast. But again, tornado warning's ongoing until 4:30 Central Time, 3:30, excuse me, Mountain Time. So we'll have an idea. It's probably going to be canceled or either expire or be canceled by the National Weather Service, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Virginia, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back, Wilson. How you doing? Lasagna sounds good. Bug, I'll be going over that a little bit later, so stay tuned. I'll probably have a forecast for that as well, but I don't know where North Central is, what you're trying to refer to. Are you talking about like the North Central United States? My favorite tornado fun fact. I don't know one off the top of my head, but there's a lot of crazy things in terms of tornadoes. I mean, this is not really a fun fact. It's not really a fun fact, but I mean, tornadoes can last as little as 1 second, be considered a tornado. As long as it touches down, it's a tornado. Katie, no. Eating soup anywhere above 90 degrees, though, is, it's something that you shouldn't be doing. As long as it's hot soup, I mean. If it's cold soup, it's a different story. East Arkansas snow? I just don't think snow's coming your way. Hey, Moxie, how you doing? Oh, you were already here. My bad. Nebraska does have a marginal risk of severe weather for tonight. It's going to be primarily for southern and southwestern areas of Nebraska, but there is a chance really across the entire Nebraska area. The best chance to go, again, is going to be in far southwestern Nebraska. But the main threats there will most likely just be damaging winds and maybe a little bit of isolated large hail. There might be a very low-end tornado threat, but it seems to be very low. And again, that's extreme southwestern Nebraska. The rest of Nebraska, really just looking at maybe some damaging wind gusts up to 60 to 65 miles per hour. We'll likely get a new warning on this storm, by the way. This is, again, going toward 287. Hugo is basically in the track of this storm, and it will probably be staying south of Interstate 70. Again, that one's moving off to the east. This one, for example, is a bit more to the north-northeast, so a couple of differences there. I will be going over Kentucky in a moment. I will be getting to the other storms as well here in a brief moment. Oh, just stay tuned. Loaded potato? That's actually not bad. Loaded potato soup is pretty good. Even in the heat, it's pretty good. There's, by the way, for those that are wondering, there's another risk for severe weather tomorrow. It's another slight risk of severe weather for basically the same areas. It includes the Carolinas. It goes a little bit further south, though. So Tennessee, southern Kentucky, basically the main areas in that area, as well as Virginia. And there's also another slight risk of severe weather up in Montana and northern Wyoming tomorrow. So another risk for severe weather. There is a marginal risk for severe weather for those up in areas like Kansas and as well as the northern Texas panhandle as well tomorrow. And there's actually a marginal risk for severe weather in northern Texas panhandle as well today. So a lot going on today and as well as tomorrow. And again, severe weather is going to be ongoing for the next several days. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our latest forecast. It goes over the next 5 days for severe weather. We have a chance for severe weather every single day through Sunday, and it will likely continue in next week in terms of at least a slight risk for severe weather. So there's a lot to watch. I will likely not be going live, though, on Friday. I might go live Saturday, Sunday, though. All right, here's a look at the latest warning, by the way. This is for Bennett and Byers. This is going to be for the potential for some quarter-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Let's go back over to this screen. We're going to go off this tornado warning. Let's hop over to the other storms for a brief moment. The tornado warning is basically going to be expiring. Not a whole lot there. We have a whole full-blown area of storms, though, that's basically like a mini derecho almost right now. It's ongoing over here in portions of Kentucky. We got a load of storms producing damaging winds across the entire area of Kentucky right now, as well as some hail as well. Not really a whole lot of a hail threat, but there is some storms ongoing for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. As of right now, there's one storm just west of Upton that's producing some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. Another one here near Hoganville, and that's also going off to the east. It seems like the main storm now is near New Haven, so that's kind of a main storm right now producing some damaging winds. Again, this line goes forever. We're looking at a lot of damaging winds with this entire thing up to 60 miles per hour. There's a warning ongoing for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and you can see, by the way, the outflow boundary from Lancaster, from Junction City, just south of Richmond now in Kentucky. Again, that's all heading down to the southeast as of right now. Storms ongoing near Mount Sterling and Jefferson, Salt Lake as well, and as well as near Moorhead. Those areas currently seeing a lot of those gusty winds, at least upwards of 50 to 55 miles per hour. It could be even going as high as 60, though, with a few of these cells. We got some storms also ongoing back up here to the north near Oak Hill and Huntington. Again, this is in far southern Ohio. Most of the storms in Ohio have been done for the day. I mean, you're still under severe thunderstorm watch, but for the most part, those storms will be moving out of your locations over the next little bit. Here's a quick look at Virginia, by the way. We have another complex of storms ongoing. This is just to the east now of Lexington. This is going towards areas like Paplin as well as Farmville. These storms are producing the potential for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as maybe even a little bit of some quarter-sized hail with this area of storms. Again, heading down to the southeast. Definitely a storm to watch pretty closely as well. A little mini line of storms, I should say, kind of heading down to the southeast. Actually, a pretty strong storm here. This is south of Richmond, Virginia. This is currently near Petersburg, and this is a storm producing some ping-pong ball-sized hail and damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. That's going toward Waverly, so those in those areas, make sure you're aware of that hail threat. It definitely looks like we have a bit more of a hail core with this storm, though, as it heads down to the east-southeast. Again, just to the east now of Interstate 95, heading again down to the east-southeast. And a couple other stalls as right now ongoing. Got one near Charlotte, producing some quarter-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. We got a couple of other ones over here in northern portions of South Carolina as well. So we got a few storms ongoing here, but for the most part, it looks like damaging winds will be the main threats with any of the storms really in the Carolinas, and as well as even down here near Hendersonville, as well as Shelby, and just south of Lincolnton. Those areas seem to be having the main threats at this point right now for damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. And again, we have one cell ongoing for 70 mile per hour winds. This is the ongoing warning near Charleston, by the way. This looks to be a bit more of a new warning, not issued too long ago. It was actually issued about 20 minutes ago, never mind. But this is an ongoing warning for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. Again, this is an ongoing warning going possibly towards Charleston. Charleston's already seeing some storm activity. You may get a severe storm heading toward your direction. Let's look at the velocities as of right now. Nothing too crazy at this point in terms of any velocities, but we are definitely looking at more of just a hail threat, it looks like, maybe some quarter-sized hail. Winds seem to be pretty minimal with that area of storms as of right now. We have dozens of hail report or damaging wind reports, by the way, with this area of storms across the board. So multiple trees down as of right now near Union Star. As of right now, that's over in Kentucky. We also have one over in Indiana for also trees down and power lines down on the Doolittle Hill. So that's also another area to watch pretty closely for the obviously a lot of power outages in this area near Louisville. There's also power lines down around 7500 Arnoldton Road, and there's also a couple of other areas with trees down. A lot of trees down, looks like, as of right now. Power lines down as well north of Louisville. And we got a couple of other damage reports up here. Pole snapped in half, wires on roadway as well, and a tree also fell on power lines. And then near Georgetown, window shutters blown off house. So yeah, we've had a lot of damage reports with this line of storms. A roof blown off a house as well over in Lynchburg in Ohio. So yeah, there's been a lot of damage, it seems like, with this line of storms. Again, kind of almost like an MCS that we're seeing right now, all being outflow driven at this point, but we're seeing a lot more of those damaging storms again. Here's a look, by the way, again, southeast right now, Winchester, going towards Stanton. We have an ongoing storm producing, again, damaging wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. Here's a look again at the velocities. Brighter colors representing your higher wind speeds as of right now. So definitely kind of keep that in mind. Again, the strongest areas of the storms will be those brighter colors in terms of velocities. And we have a new warning, by the way. This is back out west of Lebanon. This is near Raywick, and this is producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and maybe some penny-sized hail. That's moving off to the east as of right now. I have to download road data for this area, but we'll get to that in a second. Again, severe thunderstorm watch is going to be ongoing for those in Kentucky until 6 o'clock Central Time, which is 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And we also have another watch ongoing until 7 o'clock Eastern Time for West Virginia, primarily for those near Charleston. And we have a large severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, ongoing back out here to the west. I think this was not here before, wasn't it? Oh, it was here actually. But this is a warning ongoing for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour as well. And that's again near Huntington as well as Crown City, and anywhere basically in this warning, again, Ironton as well, all included for the potential for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. All right, that's a look, kind of a broad look at the storms that we have as of right now. We got still a tornado warning ongoing over in Colorado. That's going to be expiring here in just a moment. And we have a new warning over here in Colorado. Let's jump to that real quick. We got a couple of actually new warnings as of right now. This is the new warning that just got issued north of Fort Morgan. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and as well as some quarter-sized hail. Again, that storm's tracking right now off to the east-northeast. Let me go and download road data real quick for Kentucky. And we'll do that real quick. But this is the ongoing new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that's going to be including Raymer. So that's the only area included actually in this warning. All right, let me figure out if I can download that data here real quick. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, again, I would appreciate if you hit the like button down below. It really helps our page out a lot. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 9,000 subscribers. All right, let me get the road data. Got Kentucky on here now, and we'll also get West Virginia. I'm not sure what states I don't have right now for road data, but I had West Virginia too. All right, there we go. All right, I had those two states. So once we go back over those locations, I'll have roads on there. So it gives you a little bit more of an idea. Again, we have a tornado warning ongoing. That's going to be expiring. Again, that was associated with this storm now near Byers and Bennett, as well as near Interstate 70. So again, that's moving off to the north as of right now. This storm, again, producing some quarter-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Again, tracking off to the north as of right now. All right, let me get to some questions. I haven't really looked at any of the chat here in a little bit. By the way, thank you, Stardust, for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Hey, nice to meet Lexi. Nice. Happy birthday. Right. Yeah, Jerry, you're right. Yep. That is I know you're talking about somebody, but yeah, tornadoes again. Tornadoes and landspouts are two completely different things. They basically, do some similar things. Obviously, a tornado is kind of like a cone shape. A landspout is almost backwards. It's comprised differently on radar as well. You don't see, usually when you're looking at a radar, you'll see more greens on one side and you'll see more grays on the left side. Like, for example, let me see if I can bring up I don't really have an example here, but if we're look at the velocities here, let's just say this was rotation here. This would basically be, if this was to be a little bit more pronounced and tight, we very well could be potentially seeing like a landspout or something like that, but it's very situational. Landspouts don't happen nearly as often as you might think, but they do happen occasionally, and when it does happen, they're usually not nearly as damaging as a tornado. They're usually not that strong, and they typically happen in open fields. We don't usually see them anywhere close to cities or anything like that. We got a new warning, by the way, for a considerable threat near Hugo. This is for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and golf ball sized hail. That's tracking off to the east as of right now. So again, a brand new warning for those in Hugo and 287 and along 40. So that's again tracking off to the east as of right now. Yeah, landspouts they're definitely pretty interesting. They go, the opposite direction. Any severe weather in the next few days for Kansas? There is a chance today. There's gonna be a chance tomorrow, and I believe there's not any severe weather potential yet for Friday, but I can't rule out maybe a couple of strong storms on Friday. But yeah, we do have a potential there heading into the next couple of days, so today and tomorrow. All right, here's a look at the velocities on this storm, by the way. We have some pretty strong damaging winds without a doubt. Again, those brighter colors representing your higher damaging wind speeds. Again, a couple of areas right now, again, both southwest of Raymer, and again, it's heading off to the east. So these are a couple of areas that we're watching for higher damaging wind speeds, and this is definitely, looks to be the highest. We have a bit of brighter colors there. Brighter colors are representing your higher wind speeds. And again, it's heading off to the east as of right now. I'll be going toward 52. And this is, again, kind of look at the storm as of right now. Again, New Raymer is the only area really included in this warning. Again, this is north of Interstate 76. And it'll eventually be going toward Interstate 76 later on as those storms move off to the east. And again, tornado threat will increase as these storms as well move off to the east over into eastern Colorado and eventually into northwestern areas of Kansas and extreme southwestern Nebraska. Will have a bit of a chance for severe weather tonight as well. We have another new warning, by the way, over here as well near Palmer Lake and what is that? Lark Spur. So those areas are included for potential for some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail. This warning expires at 5:15 Central Time, which in Mountain Time is 4:15. So those that are in Colorado as of right now, no rotation as of right now. Looks like we have like a little hook trying to develop there, but nothing too crazy right now. Just primarily the hail threat, it looks like, for right now. Let me go over to the hail radar, kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at in terms of hailstone sizes. We have a new update on that. And this is a look at the hail radar as of right now. Again, this storm is pretty accurate with the hail ratings as of right now. So around quarter size seems to be the main threat with that storm. Again, this storm here near Byers and Bennett is currently producing maybe up to $half sized hail. So that's going toward Interstate 70 right now. Interstate 70 actually might be getting hit right now. Up closer to this storm, though, it seems to be maybe even a little bit higher, possibly as high as golf ball sized hail up this direction. Again, southwest of Raymer. So we definitely have some large hailstone sizes with both of these storms as they track off to the east. Let me take a look if we have any new updates on this warning. I don't believe we do. And no, quarter-sized hail still. So as of right now, the warning still includes quarter-sized hail, but I definitely can't rule out it's a little bit higher than that. Thank you, Lori, and as well as Kakashi for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Just a wide look at things as of right now. Again, we have an ongoing slew of severe weather right now across areas like Kentucky and as well as West Virginia. Again, another little look at everything that we have as of right now. All the storms are producing damaging winds for the most part around 60 miles per hour and as well as maybe even some quarter-sized hail. So again, it's west of Bonneville going toward Interstate 65. A couple of storms there producing some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour near Raywick as well. Also producing those same threats. Again, that's tracking off to the east toward Lebanon. And we got a couple of other storms. Again, it's basically a broken line throughout most of areas of Kentucky. We have a much more pronounced line near Stanton as well as Moorhead. These are the ones producing, again, some damaging wind gusts upwards of 60 to 65 miles per hour. This has been producing, again, a lot of damage. From what we know, there's been a lot of damage reports. Again, a lot of trees down over in Louisville, Kentucky, and many other areas seeing power lines down as well. So these storms are definitely very damaging. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're in any of these areas. Here's a look at the radar site, by the way, from the south. So this will give you a better idea, a little bit more defined here where you're looking for storms right now. So going toward Frenchburg over the next several minutes. West Liberty and as well as Sandy Hook is going to be in the track of this pretty soon. Campton as well, also in the track of this area of storms over the next 30 minutes or so. Again, these are producing some pretty strong damaging winds as they move down to the southeast. Hey, Tyler, how you doing? Welcome back. I'm doing good, Pro Gamer. How you doing today? Yeah, even if you're not in the severe thunderstorm watch, you definitely can see severe weather still. But overall, the severity of the storms is basically down now. If you're in Louisville, you're clear for the rest of the night. Anywhere basically off to the north or west of these storms is for the most part clear. Basically, the storms again in this area, they're all moving down to the south and east right now. We have a new special weather statement, by the way, for gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour for Danville and Junction City. So those areas, just kind of keep that in mind. Some gusty winds possible in those locations. We go over to the velocities again. Let me go over to the, let's see. Here's a look at the velocities as of right now. And again, a lot of brighter colors, by the way, showing up on radar here, which is definitely representing some higher wind speeds. Let me see if we can get the storm relative velocities on here. So a couple of pockets of stronger winds. There's one just to the west right now of Frenchburg, again, heading down to the southeast as of right now. There's also another one closer to Salt Lake and as well as Moorhead. There's a couple here, so we got another little brighter area there, and as well as up here near Moorhead. So a couple of areas there, seeing a couple of little pockets of some stronger downburst winds. Now, the outflow boundary is also going to be producing some pretty strong winds as well. That usually produces the strongest of winds with storms like this. So you can kind of see this is a bit more of a defined outflow boundary here. This is your outflow boundary. It goes through Stanford all the way over closer to Dorea, as well as Irvine. Those areas currently seeing that outflow boundary going through those locations. Again, those are usually much further out in front of the storms. Again, in this instance, we're definitely seeing that right now. And again, a whole slew of storms over in West Virginia right now. This is again near Charleston and Nitro. We're definitely seeing some ongoing severe weather for some damaging winds again around 60 miles per hour. Again, near Cross Lanes as of right now, seeing those storms. Again, here's your outflow boundary. It's pretty depicted here on radar near Lum Creek going toward Hamlin. So outflow boundary is pretty much defined right there on radar. That's cool, Tyler. Yeah, storm chasing is pretty interesting. If you like doing it, if you like going into the storms, it's definitely something you should try to pursue. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out again. This is the ongoing storms again across Virginia into West Virginia as well as Kentucky. Again, several storms ongoing. We got a few going through the Carolinas as well. All of them, for the most part, damaging winds around 60 miles per hour or quarter-sized hail. We actually have a new warning over here in Kansas. Let's hop over to this real quick. This is a brand new warning, and this is actually a considerable threat for those near La Crosse and as well as off near Otis. This is potential for some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and as well as some golf ball-sized hail. This is heading off again off to the east. So we have a brand new, our first warning of the day over in Kansas. So we'll have a bit more of storm development over the next few hours. We actually got a whole slew of storms right now going from the Texas Panhandle all the way up through Buffalo. We actually have a 60 mile per hour wind report over in Roston. That's over again in Oklahoma. So we actually had our first report today of damaging wind gusts over in Oklahoma as well. And by the way, Oklahoma has not seen much in terms of severe weather recently. So that's our first time that we've seen some damaging wind gusts probably in a couple weeks now. So again, we have some ongoing potential for severe weather today. Here's again a look at the outlook for today. This is a look at really what you got to know at this point. So as of now, there's a marginal risk of severe weather that does extend through even Amarillo now. It goes off to the northeast. I would not rule out an isolated severe storm anywhere in this area as well. It's definitely not out of the question with what the developments are right now. Can't rule out maybe something near Wichita or Woodward, if I'm saying the name right. Those areas are going to be possibly going to see maybe an isolated storm there. And if they do see a storm, definitely not out of the question that you see a little bit of severe weather. We still have a slight risk of severe weather, as I said before, for those in eastern Colorado, extreme southwestern portions of Nebraska, and northwestern Colorado near Colby. Now, if you zoom out a little bit further, again, there's a slight risk of severe weather up here in Montana going through Wyoming, and as well as another slight risk of severe weather on the east coast in the Ohio Valley. And again, those storms are primarily going to be compromised of damaging winds. The ones over here, again, in eastern Colorado, if any storms are able to kind of get into this environment over this direction, can rule out maybe an isolated tornado or two. That seems like where we might see a tornado threat this evening. And there also is a potential, again, anywhere in those areas once that line of storms begins to develop, which so far we haven't really seen much of a line develop, but we will likely see that line develop here over the next couple of hours. So near Derby, Kansas. If it's in this area, I'm not sure where Derby, Kansas is, but this is again south of Hayes. So just kind of for reference, near La Crosse. Appreciate that, Kenneth. Appreciate you subscribing. Not really today. No, nothing today. South Texas is probably going to stay dry for a while unless, you know, something magically happens. Honestly, it's just where we have this big high pressure ridge right now in the southern plains, and it's really blocking out most of the severe weather activity anywhere really in Texas. There is a possibility if we're in, like, you know, the hill country or anywhere like down there near Fort Stockton maybe, but it's not going to be severe. It'll just be maybe a couple of storms. By the way, thank you DB as well as Jeff and Cynthia for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Again, this is a storm ongoing over in Kansas. Again, it's going to be tracking off to the east. Let me put a track on this storm real quick. I'm going to give you an idea of where it's heading. Might be some golf ball sized hail, as I mentioned before, as that tracks off to the east. I'll just put it on this entire area of storms. Put it at about 20 miles per hour. I think it's going a little bit faster than what it says, but this is a look at the timing. So Otis right around 4:47, Albert 5 o'clock, Pawnee Rock right around 5:24, as well as Housington right around 5:30, Bunker Hill 5:42, Great Bend 5:46, Durant's right around 5:59, and Wilson 6:18. That's your timing as those storms move off to the northeast. Again, the only severe storm right now, though, is going to be kind of going this direction, probably going toward Galatia, is eventually going off to the east-northeast. Probably going to stay south of Interstate 70 for right now, but there will possibly be some developments again back up here near Hayes as well. Overall threat again across Kansas is a marginal threat. Definitely does not mean you won't see severe weather, but it does mean it's a little bit on the low scale. We actually had 2.5 inches of rain that fell, apparently, almost 3 inches of rain over in Crowls from earlier. Cowles, it was over in Nebraska. And we got a whole slew of storms. We might get a severe thunderstorm watch over in the Carolinas, too. There's a lot of damaging wind events going on over there right now. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Welcome back. No problem, Kenneth. Sounds good, Tyler. What day did I make my first video? Do you mean my first video ever? Probably back in 2013, but it's not on this YouTube channel. Maybe even before that. So tired of these storms. It's horrible in North Carolina. It's going to continue too. It's not just today. It'll happen possibly tomorrow and as well as Friday. And I can't even rule out that you see some more storms on Saturday. It's just this really stalled system. And you're going to continue to probably see some more storm activity those days as well. So it's not going anywhere really. All right, let me go off to the Virginia area. What made you want to be a... I don't know. I've been doing it ever since I was 3, so I've been doing it for a while. I just love doing weather. All right, here's a look at the areas over here. So kind of a bit of a breakdown. I'll go to Virginia first because this is an area that we have more severe weather on going right now. Again, we actually have a considerable storm now over here. Damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Looks like this storm's being compromised now. Very strong downburst, not a whole lot of an updraft anymore, but this is near Stony Creek. It is producing damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. Again, that's south of Petersburg. Far south again of Richmond. Here's a look at the ongoing severe weather though over here near Farmville. This is producing some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. That's heading off to the southeast. There also might be a little bit of penny-sized hail. We actually had a report of pea-sized hail over in Boonesboro, over in the city of Lynchburg. So over in Virginia, again, that was a little hail report that we had there. We might see again a little bit of small hail over the next several days, or excuse me, in the next several minutes. I don't know why I just said days. Over the next several minutes, there's definitely a possibility for some small hail with these storms. It's up to penny-sized hail, but I just don't think it's going to be that large. And even regardless, it's still small hail, not going to be really that damaging. But this is again going towards Farmville and as well as going toward Crew and Blackstone. So those areas are going to be kind of in the track of this over the next several minutes. Back down here to the southwest, we got a whole slew of storms across the Carolinas as well. Again, ongoing severe thunderstorm warning. This is to the south of Greensboro. So this is again heading off to the east as of right now near Pleasant Garden and as well as Liberty. This is producing some damaging winds again up to 60 miles per hour as well. That does include Stanley as well as Climax, by the way, and Forest Oaks. Another warning down here over west of Charlotte. This will be kind of going towards Charlotte as well. Damaging winds again up to 60 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail for that area. And we have another storm ongoing near Spartanburg and as well as Boiling Springs, producing some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail. On goes as well for Clemson, southwest of Greenville, and also another one here near Hendersonville, also producing the same threat. So actually up to half-dollar size with that storm. And we actually have a new tornado warning up in Kentucky. Let's hop over to this. This is a brand new tornado warning that we just got issued here from the National Weather Service. Brand new tornado warning here near Frenchburg. This is a brand new development. By the way, thank you, Kerr, by the way, for the $5 super chat. I missed that. Appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate your support. Hope you're doing well. Here's a look again at the ongoing tornado warning. Our area of rotation is here again near Frenchburg. This would likely be some sort of brief tornado occurrence. Again, pretty little defined hook right now that we have here just south of Frenchburg. Again, that's going to be heading off to the east-southeast, basically just to the south most likely at 460. That's the track as of right now on this storm. But as of right now, again, south of Frenchburg. So if you're in this warning, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows and lowest floor possible. Again, this is an ongoing tornado warning. Again, this is for areas in Frenchburg. You should be in shelter immediately, and anywhere just out in front of this, again, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows. Again, heading down to the east-southeast as of right now. Brand new tornado warning. Hey Kenley, how you doing? Welcome back. Again, this is a brand new tornado warning for those near Frenchburg. Very defined hook, as I mentioned before. Inflow, again, very strong as well. We have a very strong inflow going into the storm, pretty pronounced hook. Again, if there were to be a tornado, it'd be located somewhere right about there. Again, heading toward potentially 77 over the next couple of minutes. It might already be there by now by the time we get our next radar update. And it's also going towards 746. That's the areas that we're going to be seeing as of right now. And again, now the hook is a little bit further off to the east. Again, that tornado is going to be located possibly right there just to the west of 77. And again, this is south of 460. Again, south of Frenchburg. This storm might even be going towards areas near 203, 1010, Campton even possibly if it can go far south enough. But as of right now, the immediate areas in the track of this seem to be a lot of rural areas, luckily. Looks like actually a looking at mountains as well. Thank you, Sarah, by the way, for the $1.99 sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, Sarah. Hey, 1920s, how you doing? Again, ongoing tornado warning here south of Frenchburg. Again, make sure you're seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is definitely a dangerous storm heading off to the southeast as of right now. Let's go back to the velocities, take a look if there's anything on that as of right now. And we definitely have strong winds. That's without a doubt. I'm not seeing a whole lot, again, of any tightening. Again, it could happen between scans, too. A lot of the time with these tornado events that we see embedded in lines of storms, they happen very quick, and they can sometimes even happen in between radar scans. So that's even a possibility with this area of storms. We very well could have a tornado in between the radar scans, which might mean that we actually have a tornado on the ground in between, right now up until the next radar scan. So just something to also keep in mind. Again, a lot of the time we have more brief tornadic activity with storms like this. That are embedded in lines of storms. This is the ongoing tornado warning, a wide view of everything. Again, this is over in Kentucky. We have another tornado warning over in Colorado. Let me hop over to this real quick and we'll go back to Kentucky in a second. Another tornado warning just got issued southeast of Hugo. This is for another tornado warning in head egg sized hail. This is a brand new tornado warning as well. And rotation as of right now, there is definitely a little bit of rotation there. As of now, it looks to be a little bit more broad. We'll watch it very closely though. Again, strong winds as well with this. Again, tornado warning storm producing head egg sized hail and an ongoing tornado threat near Hugo. Just to the southeast of Hugo. I believe this is in a fairly rural area as of right now. This is near 94 and 287. So again, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible. Make sure you're doing that. Again, setting off to the east as of right now. All right, we're going to go back over to the Kentucky storm again. We'll go in between both of them. We'll primarily focus on the Kentucky one for right now. It's in a bit more of a populated area, and then we'll keep going back and forth. Here's a look again at the storm as of right now. Hook as of right now. Still not nearly as pronounced as what we just saw a couple scans ago. Still a bit of an inflow going into the storm. Definitely could potentially see some sort of brief tornado occurrence with this storm. And again, looking at it as of right now, we still have some strong velocities in terms of going towards the radar, going away from the radar, nothing too crazy, but definitely something to watch definitely pretty closely. Again, south of 460 as of right now. Yeah, James, they were pretty cool. I had a few people watching from Michigan. They were pretty crazy storms last night up that direction. Power just went out here. Where are you at? I'm definitely not. I'm not going to be against. I mean, power's probably going to be going out with a lot of these storms, but against this line of storms. I've already had a bunch of reports of power out with this line of storms already, so definitely not out of the question. Again, this is the ongoing tornado warning just south of 460. This is, again, south of Frenchburg, Kentucky. We'll go back over to the Colorado one again pretty soon, so. I appreciate that, Sarah. I think the least, so for those that are members, I think the least amount that you can gift is 5 gifted memberships now. I think that's like the least. I don't know if you can gift only 1. I'm not entirely sure though. Hey Shank, how you doing? from Southeast Michigan. Nice. I know a lot of people are coming from Michigan now. All right, let's go back over to the velocities as of right now. Again, not a whole lot in terms of rotation, as I mentioned before. We got some fairly strong winds, though. Currently at least around 60 miles per hour going toward the radar. Again, we're not seeing a whole lot going away from the radar, though. It's very, very broad, it seems like, as of right now. But we definitely can't rule out maybe a brief tornado occurrence. The wind speeds seem to be a little bit tighter once we go a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, which could even be indicative of maybe some sort of landspout as well. But again, it's heading off to the east-southeast, going towards 191 and 1010. So those areas are on the track of it over the next several minutes. Again, north of Campton and south of Frenchburg is currently right now where that tornado warned storm is. We also have a hail core going through areas near Frenchburg that also could be as high as nickel size, maybe even up to quarter size hail there. Hey, Jan, how you doing? Lords, no, I don't think so. I don't think there will be much of a tornado threat tomorrow for those areas. Thank you, Mastermind, Jan, as well as Donna for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Again, this is the ongoing tornado warning. If you're just tuning in south of Frenchburg, let me put a track on this storm. Actually, I haven't done that yet. Let me just go and put a track on this storm, give you an idea of where this is heading over the next several minutes. And again, going about 36 miles per hour. I might have to zoom out a little bit more for this. There's a bit of a track for you as of right now. So West Liberty 512, Layersville. I'm not going to say the name right, but that's 536. Paintsville 554, Van Leer right around 6 o'clock. Prestonsburg 604, Allen City 610, Martin 611, and Williamson 644. That's your timing again on this area of storms as it moves off to the east southeast. Again, this is definitely a storm to watch fairly closely. And again, most of the time we'll have these lines of storms. They will be mostly brief occurrences of a tornado threat, but we'll definitely have to watch it still pretty closely beyond right now, because it definitely could produce one later on. Again, lines of storms do occasionally have these little spin ups that could potentially become brief tornadoes as well. I'm doing well, Jay. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. And here's a look at the velocities as of right now. That is going to be representing some pretty high wind speeds, by the way. We're up to almost 70, it looks like, on radar in terms of the wind speeds going towards the radar. Again, the rotation is not strong by any means. We're not really seeing any greens and reds really mixing together well. We're not really seeing that little tight rotation, but we still have a bit of winds. Again, there is a hook there. We have an inflow, so we definitely can't rule out that there is a tornado with this at some point. And again, a tornado could even occur in between radar scans. It does happen quite often, so just keep that in mind. Again, a brief tornado not out of the question as it moves down to the east-southeast. Again, 1010 as well as 203 and 191 in the track of this over the next several minutes. Again, just to the north of Campton is in the track of this right now. K-Day, this is currently over in Kentucky, but we'll go over to the Colorado tornado warning as well. As I mentioned before, we have another tornado warning in Colorado as well. That's near Hugo. So we have now a couple of tornado warnings ongoing, but the one over near Hugo as of right now, the rotation is not very strong as of now. So we're going to, again, we'll go back to that one though pretty soon. All right, again, this is a look at the storm as of right now. Again, near Frenchburg is where we have a little hail core, again, possibly into some nickel-sized hail. Severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, is ongoing, unless it just expired or got canceled. Like, not 100% sure. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning ongoing, or did the warnings glitch out on here? Yeah, still a severe thunderstorm warning ongoing. So there's still a warning ongoing for severe weather. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour across the board with this line of storms. But as of right now, again, this is the ongoing tornado warning they'll have with this storm. Again, radar indicated rotation as of right now. Yes, K-Day. These storms will, I don't know if the line of storms will really reach North Carolina, but these storms are moving down toward Virginia, most likely. North Carolina is really just seeing the storms of their own. But if they do reach you, these will be much weaker by the time they get there. All right, here's the update on the tornado warning, by the way. So now no longer includes Frenchburg. It does include those just to the north of Campton. So again, this is where your rotation is. That's where the potential for a tornado does exist, embedded with, again, that little hook that we have, a little bit of an inflow. Again, a little tornado may be possible there just off to the west right now of 1010 as well as 203 and 191. So that's, again, where that tornado may be located as it moves off to the east-southeast. Fairly strong air as of now. Again, rotation's not strong, but it definitely has potential again for maybe a brief or weak tornado north of Campton. Hey, Marion, how you doing? If you're in the panhandle of Texas, a couple of isolated storms may be possible, but nothing too crazy up that way. All right, latest scan not showing much of a hook anymore. This is the velocity scan, the latest velocity scan. So as of right now, again, very strong winds still ongoing here. I'm not seeing, again, a whole lot going away from the radar. We're still seeing some strong winds, though, going towards the radar. As of now, we're still seeing wind speeds around 55, possibly as high as 60 miles per hour with this area of storms. But other than that, we're not seeing a whole lot in terms of at least this ongoing tornado warning. Does not seem to have anything too crazy in terms of rotation. By the way, there's a tree down over at 1596 Virginia Street East over in Charleston. So we have more damage reports coming in from those areas. Again, a lot of damaging winds are expected with this entire area of storms over the next several hours. I'm glad too, Bugs. I'm very glad that's back. Are there storm chasers out there tracking the storm? I have no clue. I don't think anybody's tracking the storm, though. The storm's going to hit New York City today. No, definitely not going toward that direction. All right, again, latest scan not showing a whole lot in terms of rotation. A lot of rain. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. We'll wait for the next scan, see if anything happens. If not, we're going to go back over to the Colorado storm. Where's Reed chasing today? Reed Timmers chasing. Reed Timmers actually subscribed to my channel. Those that are, fun fact, by the way. I think he's the first person that subscribed to my YouTube channel in terms of a weather person, you know. West Virginia, heading toward Charleston. Okay, thank you. So he's over in Charleston. That's interesting. Let me guess, this car's damaged? Or is it not damaged yet? I'm guessing it's not damaged yet. No, Scorpion, you're pretty much good for tonight. Louisville won't see anything else tonight. You might see more storms tomorrow, but probably nothing too much more for tonight. All right, what's going on with the radar? All right, let's go back over to the velocities again. As of again, right now, we're not seeing anything in terms of strong rotation. Still seems to be fairly broad. I'll keep you updated with the latest on this storm. Again, this is over in Kentucky as of right now, but the velocities seem to be weakening. We'll go back to that storm in a minute. We're going to go back over to the tornado warning, which I believe, did it get canceled? I think my warnings might be glitching out. Let me go back over to my phone real quick. Or did that one get canceled? Does anybody know if the tornado warning is still ongoing southeast of Hugo? Looks like it's still ongoing. Let's restart this real quick. Reed Timmers near Kentucky. Okay, I gotcha. West Virginia, Kentucky, pretty much the same area there. All right, let's go back over here. Okay, yeah, okay, the warnings are back. All right, here's a look at the tornado warning over in Colorado, as I mentioned before. This is the storm I was mentioning that had a pretty large hail core. This storm is seemingly weakening, actually, which is pretty good news. It has been weakening over the last few minutes. This is near Boyero, if I'm saying the name right, near 287. This is our other tornado warning ongoing. And again, this is southeast of Hugo. Here's a look at the velocities as of right now. There is still some fairly broad rotation. There's some broad rotation, though, here. Again, that's just to the southwest of 287. But hen egg-sized hail was a possibility. It looks like that is probably now down to $half-sized hail, maybe even a little bit less than that. So that's the other tornado warning that we have ongoing as of right now. Again, just to the southeast of Hugo. So make sure, again, you're seeking shelter if you're near Boyero in Colorado. That's the tornado warning we got as of right now. Again, a few other severe thunderstorm warnings in Colorado as well. We got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings over in Kansas, which both actually, that one south of Hayes is producing some golf ball sized hail, by the way. So we have actually a lot of severe weather ongoing. Again, I'm going to keep you updated with the latest on everything. If you have any questions, again, about any specific storms, feel free to leave those in the chat. Again, if you are new here and you have not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're only 40 subscribers away from 8,700. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Would appreciate it. Keep you updated with the latest throughout the evening. Welcome back, Yoshi. Hope you're doing well. Supercell, yeah, we had a lot. I mean, this is Supercell, for example. We have a lot of Supercells right now. There's a bunch out there. Hey, Storm Chaser, how you doing? Welcome back. And this is a cell right now southeast of Hugo, near 287. Kit Carson, by the way, might be in the track of this in the next hour or so, so just keep that in mind. A couple of other warnings ongoing, all of them quarter-sized hail and damaging winds around 60 miles per hour at Colorado. A couple of other cells as well developing west of Interstate 70. So, again, those are our storms as of right now. We got Kentucky tornado warning was allowed to expire. Thank you, Michael, for the update. Appreciate it. All All right, so for those that were in that Kentucky storm southeast of Frenchburg, I believe, let me just double check, but I believe that warning just got, pretty sure it got canceled. Yeah, so it actually got canceled over there in Kentucky, excuse me. So for those that were near Frenchburg, it's just a damaging wind threat now, up to 60 to 65 miles per hour. Just an update there. Will I get a studio? What do you mean by that? This is my studio. You see it? This is my studio now. Don't know what you mean. Do you mean like build a studio? Because I don't have anywhere close to enough money to ever do that. Hailstorm will reach Salina. I think it might stay to the south of you, Amplicity, but you might see some storms that might develop even to the north of that. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Storm Chaser idea. I don't have enough money to do that. Well, maybe one day. Maybe one day. But I honestly don't really think building a studio, if I were to just do these weather forecasts, I don't think building a studio is necessary. I think it's just too much of the staging stuff, in my opinion. That's nice, Jaden. Oh, all my equipment in? This is basically the room I had my equipment in. All right, so now we're down to quarter-sized hail, by the way, near 287. So this warning is now going down to quarter-sized hail. We still have a little bit of broad rotation with this cell, nothing too crazy. You can kind of see it here again, a little bit of rotation as of now. It's pretty broad though at the surface. Definitely can't rule out a brief tornado, but again, if there were to be a tornado, be located somewhere right about there. Again, south of 287. This is again southeast of Hugo. So just keep that in mind. North of 94. It's kind of where the ongoing rotation is as of right now. So again, the cell is now down to quarter-size hail. It was once at hen egg-size hail, so it was actually much larger hail at one point. Yes, Kenley, it's back. It is back. I can do my live stream for as long as I want. All right, we have a new tornado warning up here in Fort Morgan. This is a brand new tornado warning, so we just got a brand new one. Let me go over to the radar site over here east of Denver. Brand new tornado warning just got issued north of Fort Morgan. This is for the storm that had a little bit of broad rotation a while ago, but it's now tornado warning. This is near 144 north of Interstate 76. So again, a brand new tornado warning just got issued. Make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. Again, away from windows if you're included with this warning. Very strong winds overall. Looks like the rotation, if I'm not mistaken, is probably right about there. That's winds. Again, this is winds going toward the radar, going away from the radar. Is it actually possibly clockwise rotation? Or am I mistaken? Take a look again. Let's do reflectivity. It seems to be where the rotation is. Yeah, it's actually probably what the rotation is as of right now. It's actually on the back side. So this is actually an interesting event. We actually have currently some clockwise rotation going here. So this is an ongoing area of rotation. Again, this is off to the north of Interstate 76. So this is actually a pretty rare sight that you usually don't see. But there is a little bit of clockwise rotation there. Again, this is moving off, just off right now. It's currently north of Interstate 76, north of Fort Morgan. Again, this storm is basically beelining to the east. So that's what we got going as of right now with this storm. I've heard of him, Storm Chaser. I've heard of him, but I've never watched him. Is this going to hit Wichita? Wichita might see some isolated storms later, but severe weather will be pretty minimal there, if you see anything. All right, again, this is a brand new tornado warning north of Fort Morgan. Let me take a look if we have anything on Twitter yet. Again, this is in a little bit more of a populated area, so we might get some sort of information there over on Twitter. By the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, you click the link in the description to go follow me on there. And if you have any tweets, any photos or anything like that, you can always tweet me on Twitter. Let me take a look if we have any updates on this tornado warning. I'm guessing we don't, but take a look. Again, brand new tornado warning here. North of Fort Morgan. Yeah, nothing at this point. We actually have one photo. I can't show it, but there's one photo out of Hugo, Colorado of that supercell. But again, that supercell's been weakening, which is good news down that way. This is, again, our brand new tornado warning, so a little bit more rotation on this one. Keegan, this is currently over in Colorado. We're kind of doing all the states right now. We have very strong downburst winds without a doubt, so that's kind of the main threat, but we still have a little bit of rotation on this storm. And again, kind of looking at the overall reflectivity as of right now, we definitely have some large hail. Again, this is kind of the area where there might be a little bit of $half sized hail, even possibly up here as well. And going toward 52 over the next several minutes. Again, this is just to the north of Fort Morgan. The storm's basically going east. So those in Fort Morgan, no reason to panic at this point. The storm will most likely just stay off to your north. But those off to the north of Fort Morgan, I think it's a pretty rural area, but there could very well be maybe an isolated tornado at some point with this storm. So definitely something to still watch over the next several minutes. Denver won't see much tonight, just a couple of isolated showers and maybe isolated storms, but nothing too crazy. All right, let's go back down to this tornado warning. Let's see if anything's been going with this storm recently. I don't think this warning's had too much going over the last several minutes. Still a little bit more of a hail core. It looks like maybe $half sized hail southwest of 287. Here's a look at the velocities, and there's actually a little bit more rotation trying to develop with this area of storms right now. Again, south of 287. So there is a little bit more of maybe a little bit of rotation trying to develop there. But overall, the rotation stayed fairly minimal so far. If there would be a tornado, it'd be probably embedded there, maybe even a bit more rain wrap, by the way. By the way, thank you, Drake, Logan, Megan, Marin, James, Teak, Bend, as well as, let's see, who else? Marshall, and as well as Robert for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. All right, so again, a little bit of rotation there. This is, again, south of Hugo. We'll go back up to the Fort Morgan tornado warning. And the ongoing tornado warning near Fort Morgan is currently to the north of Fort Morgan. This is not in Fort Morgan. It's just off here north. Fairly large hail here. Even got a little bit of hook shape trying to develop here on the front edge of it. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now in terms of that rotation. Let me go over to... Oops, I don't close that out. See, is there any... Let me take a look if there's any new mesocyclone discussions. We got a bunch over in the East Coast. We don't have any new mesocyclone discussions yet for those in the Central Plains as of now. Again, we have a couple of other severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing back out to the east. Over in Kansas. Those in the Central Plains, there's a couple there near Hayes, but other than that, there's nothing too crazy there. Yes, I'll get to the other storm soon. Again, primarily, the main focus in this forecast will be tornado warnings, and if there's no tornado warnings, we'll go over other storms as well, Storm Chaser. So, again, we're primarily focusing on the tornado warnings as of right now. Again, this is just to the north of Fort Morgan. Heading off to the east. Again, Hill Rose is going to be on the track of this. Going toward, again, Interstate 76 probably in the next hour. But, again, this is directly going east. So those in Fort Morgan, no reason to panic, but just make sure you're still aware of this storm. It should be staying off to your north, though. If you're just north of Fort Morgan, though, if you're even in this area here, definitely make sure you're still in shelter. Anywhere in that pink boxed area, you should be in shelter immediately away from windows. And, you know, lowest floor possible. Let's see if we have anything new there. Let's take a look. Yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time, by the way, make sure to hit the like button. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We are, I think, 20 subscribers now away from 8,700. So I would appreciate it again if you hit the subscribe button down below. We do live streams again like this all of the time. Let me hop over to the... Let's go over the velocities again real quick. And here's a look at the velocities. We have very strong winds, by the way, with this. I'm not seeing a whole lot, again, in terms of rotation right now, but we have very strong velocities still representing some very high wind speeds. So we very well could be looking at some wind speeds around 60 to even 65 miles per hour with this area of storms. That's definitely not out of the question at this point. Again, this storm directly going off to the east, but it looks like the wind speeds are probably the main threat right now. There's still a little bit of rotation, but the overall rotation is fairly minimal with this cell, again, north of Fort Morgan. Hey, Weather, how you doing? Welcome back. Let me take a look if we have any other warnings right now over in the East Coast. As of right now, for those over in the Carolinas, no tornado warnings there yet. Again, we'll keep you updated with the latest on that. But it looks like, for the most part, again, tornado threat today is actually meant to be fairly low. This is at least, I think, our 4th tornado warning, though, now. We also have, again, one over here near Hugo. Let's go back to this warning. This warning had a little bit of rotation as well. It had a bit more of a stronger rotation in the latest scan that we looked at earlier. Still a little bit of rotation here. There's definitely still a little bit left there, just west of 40 and 287. Again, that's kind of on the leading edge of the storm. We have definitely a pretty large hail core as well, producing probably some $half sized hail. So still a lot of large hail, and as well as that potential, again, for maybe a brief tornado as well, going toward 287. So keep that in mind if you're down southeast of Hugo. That's, again, near Boyero. So that's right now what's included there. A couple of quarter-sized hail reports, by the way, down there to the south. Again, this is the ongoing tornado warning north of Fort Morgan and north of Interstate 76. Hey, Davin, how you doing? Welcome back. New Jersey, for the most part, not going to see a whole lot today. I think for the most part, if you see any storms again, it's just maybe damaging winds. That's it. Hey, James, how you doing? Welcome back as well. Hope you're doing well. We are only one subscriber from 8,700, so if you haven't hit the subscribe button again, I would appreciate it. Only one of you to subscribe. All right, let's go over to the gate to gate shear. I'm not going to probably see much out of that now. Nothing really there. And the velocities as of right now, what we're seeing is much more of just strong winds. I'm not, again, seeing a whole lot in terms of rotation. If we go a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, for example, again, I'm not seeing a whole lot as of now. There is still a little bit of like, almost counterclockwise rotation on the back end of the storm. But overall, it seems like the storm is not rotating too much. Again, there's definitely a possibility we see a brief tornado, even in between radar scans. It's not out of the question. But as of now, it looks like for the most part, the main threat seems to be at least some half-dollar size hail. But if you're in the forewarning, again, make sure, again, you're staying in shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, tornado can happen at any time with the storm. The rotation is still there to a minimal extent, but again, definitely could develop, though, over the next several minutes as it moves off to the east. Hey, Sergeant, how you doing? Welcome back. No, James, I actually haven't. I'm always open to suggestions. So if you have any like educational videos, if you want to know something more about weather, feel free to like put those in Discord or even just comment on a video. So I'm always looking for things that people want to know more about. Hey, Weather Watcher, how you doing? Welcome back. We have a new warning, by the way, over in Kansas. We'll get to that in a moment. We actually have a couple of storms over in Kansas. We got some rotation even on the Kansas storms. We'll have to watch those pretty closely too. Anything else going to hit Iowa? There is a possibility for some severe weather a little bit later as well in Iowa, but it's pretty low risk. We got a couple another cells, by the way, over in here in Kansas. Now, I'm bringing these up because there is actually a little bit of rotation on the other cell, but this one right here, currently south of Mullinville, has some strong areas of storms here. This is for half-dollar sized hail moving off to the northeast towards Greensburg. There's also another cell ongoing up here near Otis. This actually is a little bit of broad rotation from the latest scan that we saw. Kind of take a look here. There was a little bit of rotation here. We actually had possibly some very high winds. The radar is estimating winds as high as 75 miles per hour. But there is a little bit of broad rotation here. Definitely something to monitor. Considerable threat now on this storm, by the way. That's an observed hail threat up to hen egg sized. Take a look if we have any tornado possible labels. No, we don't actually. But this is actually has a little bit more rotation in the upper levels. Might have a funnel cloud with this storm. Definitely not out of the question. You can see the rotation is much tighter, it looks like, in the upper levels. Closer to the surface, not nearly as tight. That's near Albert. So there is a little bit of rotation here with this storm again over in Kansas. So that will also be another storm to watch pretty closely. Again, we'll keep you up to the latest if there's any new tornado warnings on that. Let's go back over to the Fort Morgan one, though. By the way, thank you, DM, Angelo, Duncan, Thunder, Mark, Paula, William, Shone, Katie, and Joy for all subscribing. I do appreciate you guys hitting the subscribe button. Thank you. And yes, we actually hit 8,700 subscribers. Appreciate you guys all hitting the subscribe button. All right, here's again a look at the ongoing tornado warning. Again, this is north of Fort Morgan. And rotation for right now has remained fairly broad. We still have some fairly strong winds, though, with this storm. Again, off to the north of 144. And it's a fairly rural area, I'm pretty sure. So we're not really looking at a populated area by any means. And again, wind speeds are pretty high. We're still talking 60-mile-per-hour winds, regardless of there being a tornado. We're still looking at some damaging wind components with this. So again, make sure, again, you're staying away from windows, lowest floor possible. If you're out in front of this tornado warning, again, it's heading off toward 52. And again, north of Interstate 76 and going towards, or most likely just going to stay off to the north of Fort Morgan. We're looking as of right now at this storm. Will this be an all-night severe weather event? It might be a little bit late. I mean, it's not going to be nearly as late as last night, I don't think. But it will likely, there will probably still be severe weather through at least midnight. But I will probably not be live that late. I'll probably at least be live for another 4 to 5 hours, maybe even a little bit longer than that. We'll see what happens. I'll be live here for a while, though. All right, let's go back over to the... let's look at the low-level jet right now. Yeah, low-level jet might give us an idea of what we're looking at in terms of that. If there's any like ongoing areas that we have to kind of monitor. It's actually a little bit more of a low-level jet near Hayes, kind of a little bit stronger. You can see those green areas representing maybe a little bit more of a, not really a strong level jet, but it's a weak low-level jet. There isn't a whole lot in terms of the low-level jet over this direction in Colorado. As of right now, the low-level wind shear as well. I'm going to kind of pull that up and see if that comes up. I don't know if it will. It doesn't look like it will. I'm hoping to put the low-level shear on here as well. But as of now, the low-level jet is actually fairly weak. And again, it's not really the main threat today will not be tornadoes. It will likely just be damaging winds. But we do have that chance again for maybe a tornado or two today. And this is at least, I think, our 5th tornado warning, 4th or 5th. So we've had a lot. And there's probably going to be more from where that came from, by the way. This is probably not going to be our only, or this is probably not going to be our last tornado warning, I should say. Probably see a little bit more than that. Any more heavy rain for central Ohio? Tonight, probably not. I don't think you'll see anything either tomorrow either. Pretty low chance. Hey, Cody, how you doing? Welcome back. All right, let's go back to the velocities on this storm again. North of Fort Morgan, this is our ongoing tornado warning. And again, rotation actually kind of seems to be about right here now. It's still broad, but there's a little bit of rotation there. Again, that's off to the north of Interstate 76. North of Fort Morgan. Again, that's heading off to the east as of right now. That's our area of rotation as of now. Again, going off to the east. And we have a brand new tornado warning. This is now our third tornado warning over in Colorado. This is to the south of Deer Trail. This is west of Interstate 70. This is a brand new tornado warning that literally just came out. So a brand new tornado warning again. This is again heading off to the east-southeast actually. Here's a look at the velocities as of right now. And it looks to be a little bit more strong rotation as of now. Rotation's kind of embedded, it looks like, in this area of storms. Right here. So again, west of Interstate 70 is where we have some rotation as of right now. Yeah, make sure you're seeking shelter away from windows if you're near the storm. Again, dangerous storm. Again, another tornado warning. At least has some large hail as well. Ping pong ball size hail is possible with this storm. As of now, it does not seem like any locations are included in this, but this is now our third tornado warning in Colorado in the last like 20 minutes. I mean, this is definitely not what we're expecting today. We weren't expecting a whole lot in terms, at least the Storm Prediction Center wasn't forecasting much in terms of a tornado threat. And actually, any of these areas that the tornado warnings are in right now, they're actually not even considered in that little 2% range, by the way. If you look at it real quick, there's one, but the other two are not even in that little area. It's quite interesting. I kind of mentioned it too. I thought there would be a bit more of a tornado threat today because we have a little bit more of that low-level gen, a little bit more low-level shear in these areas. It's going to be a little bit more discrete action, but the Storm Prediction Center didn't really actually issue even that 2% probability until, I believe, this afternoon. Again, brand new tornado warning. This is west of Interstate 70, tracking off to the east. And velocities as of right now, still a little bit of rotation. Again, it's kind of embedded right here. That's kind of where our rotation is as of right now. Again, it's tracking off to the east, southeast, which we're probably 86 in Interstate 70. This tornado warning is going to be expiring in a minute. Let's go back over to the velocities on this one real quick. I know it's going to be expiring, but we have another severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, as well as some ping pong ball sized hail. The velocities seem to be pretty weak on this storm, so good news there. Overall, the hail threat's definitely going to be the main threat as it moves towards Kit Carson, but definitely not another question that might develop and maybe redevelop later on. All right, this tornado warning, it does expire, by the way, at 5:30 Central Time, 4:30 Mountain Time, just for those that are near Fort Morgan. Again, the storm's heading off to the east toward Hill Rose and Brush. Those areas are going to be the track of this storm, so just kind of keep that in mind. Thank you, Weather, Fred, and Sammy for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Nebraska may see some storms later tonight, but it will probably at least be another few hours. Again, if you're like near Lincoln or something like that, it'll be a while. Definitely be a little while until you see anything. It'll probably be the overnight threat more than anything. It'll be pretty minimal severe weather. Again, if you're in extreme southwestern Nebraska, you have a bit more of a risk of severe weather today. By the way, the velocities seem to be a bit stronger with this storm right about here. That's near 144. So it's kind of almost embedded in that area there. There's a little bit more rotation there. Kind of see it there. Again, a little bit more rotation there northwest of Fort Morgan. So definitely an area to watch still pretty closely. $quarter to $half sized hail still possible with this storm as well. We got us right now heading off to the east. We should get some rain in Oklahoma. There's actually a couple of storms back down there in Oklahoma. There's actually a new severe thunderstorm warning as well. Let's hop over to this real quick. This is a warning over in the Oklahoma Panhandle. So this is actually our first warning that we've had here in a while. This is for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail. That's embedded. Might even be with an outflow boundary, but that's near Booker as of right now, south of Beaver. So that's the ongoing threat for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. So that is definitely a storm to watch pretty closely. Again, we had a little bit of rotation back up here near Great Bend a little while ago. I'm not entirely sure if we still have that ongoing, and it looks to be a bit broader now, but we had a little bit of rotation earlier with this storm. Looked like there might even have been a funnel cloud with this, but that's near Albert. That's where it was. Yeah, that's heading off to the east as of right now. Another warning, by the way, north of Dodge City for damaging winds. Not really a threat, but there will be potential for some $half sized hail. So a couple of other warnings. Again, those are all across portions of the Central Plains. We have plenty of warnings again over in the Carolinas and Virginia. We're primarily focused on those tornado warnings over the next really several minutes. Tornado warning down near Hugo expired, by the way. We still have 2 tornado warnings ongoing, though. One near Fort Morgan and one down to the south of Deer Trail. And storm chasers don't come to Colorado anymore. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that too. Colorado actually has a lot more severe weather than you think. It's just a much more rural area too, which is kind of surprising that not that many people go to this area. But typically there's not a whole lot in terms of tornadic activity. Even though we have a few tornado warnings today, it's usually, the tornadic activity is usually not that high in Colorado per se. The setup usually is not really ripe for that sort of condition. Let me go over to this. And phone calls. By the way, we're only one subscriber away from 8,750. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, again, I would really appreciate it. We are on the road to 9,000 subscribers. But make sure to hit the subscribe button real quick if you're new here. Again, we do live streams like this all the time. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing? Welcome back. All right, let's go back to the velocities on this storm. Take a look if there's anything new on this. I don't think the correlation coefficient won't show anything because it's, again, not really a storm that has a whole lot in terms of at least surface velocities. But again, the rotation seems to kind of be almost embedded here now. That's kind of where we have a little bit of rotation still going near 144. Again, very strong winds, maybe damaging winds up to 65 to 70 miles per hour. So we still have some strong downburst winds with this storm. Again, it's going to be going toward 52 over the next several minutes, north again of Fort Morgan. Our other tornado warning is again down here to the south. This is for those closer to west of Interstate 70, north of 86. Let's take a quick look at the velocities on this one, and the rotation has weakened a whole lot over the last couple of scans. This morning might be able to just be canceled at this point, but warning does expire at 5:30 Central Time or 4:30 Mountain Time. But as of right now, it looks like that will probably be let to expire or even be canceled. This storm, though, on the other hand, has a bit more rotation, so this one will likely not be canceled anytime soon. It will likely at least be let to expire. If not, we might even see a brand new tornado warning at some point pretty soon. Again, those near Fort Morgan, just have your safety plan in place just in case it might go toward your direction. As of right now, the storm is primarily moving off to the east, but definitely can't let it goes a little bit further off to the southeast. Has been moving a little bit more to the south over the last few scans anyways. No tornado activity high in Denver. Yeah, Denver is not really in the prime area for any sort of tornadic development today anyways. There's a little bit more shear and whatnot off in eastern Colorado. We're not even really at, by the way, this probably isn't going to be the peak of any tornado warnings at this point. I do expect maybe a tornado or two back out here in eastern Colorado. There will be a little bit more shear at this direction, so just keep that in mind. We got 4 severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way, from Texas all the way up into Kansas. We'll get to those pretty soon as well. A lot of warnings ongoing. We have a lot of severe weather today. Cody, no, it's not really a high rate. I mean, this is, again, a tornado warning. You should be taking those proper precautions. But overall, if there were to be a tornado with this cell, it would likely be some sort of brief and weak occurrence. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. But as of right now, we do not have any confirmation of this tornado. I'm going to take a look at Twitter and see if we have anything there. Colorado, let's take a look. I don't think we have any confirmation of a tornado, but Fort Morgan has a pretty good view of the storm, but no confirmed tornado with that storm, as I mentioned before. The one again south of Deer Trail might be canceled or let to expire. The rotation on the latest 2 scans is pretty weak. This is again the warning near Fort Morgan. This one has a bit more rotation. Thanks, Johnson. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you haven't already, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Denver's not going to really see much. You guys are going to probably not see much in terms of severe weather tonight. Let's take a little view of everything. So yeah, as of right now, again, the ongoing tornado warnings are in Colorado. We got some severe weather over in Kansas and even Oklahoma, and as well as even the far northern Texas Panhandle. We got more severe weather on the East Coast. A lot of storms ongoing. Again, those on the East Coast in the Ohio Valley as well. We're going to primarily just see some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and maybe some quarter-sized hail. On the other hand, those in Colorado and even Kansas could see hail up to the size of maybe even tennis balls, and as well as the potential for some damaging wind gusts as well, upwards of 70 miles per hour, and definitely a couple of tornadoes can't be ruled out tonight. All right, let me go back over and see if we have any new mesocyclone discussions. And we have a new one, by the way, for Kansas. This got upgraded, or this was issued a little while ago, but there is a sparse severe gust threat for those in central and southern Kansas. And far northern portions of Oklahoma. There is a 20% chance that a severe thunderstorm watch gets issued for that area. I'm leaning towards there possibly could be. I think it might be. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do issue a watch for maybe a few hours, but there's a little bit more ongoing there now than there was before. We have 4 warnings now, and we still have more storms developing from where that came from. So there might be a watch that gets issued over that direction. for a severe thunderstorm watch, at least. Not a tornado watch by any means, but we might get a severe thunderstorm watch with that. And we still have a little bit of rotation here. Nothing, again, that pronounced, but we do have a couple of areas of broad rotation. Again, one near 144. We have a little area there and another area right there over the last few scans. And again, look at the reflectivity as of right now. Basically, the main area that I would expect if there were to be a tornado would probably be here near 144. Again, it would probably be rain wrapped unless you're on the very far southwestern side. It might be pretty difficult to see, though, on that area right now. We have another tornado warning down here. That one's probably going to be let to expire. I'll take a look at the rotation one last time, see if we have any new updates on this one. But on the latest scan, yeah, it's just nothing really there anymore. This tornado warning will either be canceled or let to expire. So there's not a whole lot in terms of rotation there. That's, again, west of Lyman, or Lyman, however you say that name. You're good, SJS. You're good. All right, let me hop over to... We have an ongoing severe thunderstorm watch for Colorado until 9 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 10 o'clock Central Time. So that's another 4.5 hours, by the way. So we're just going to keep that in mind for those areas. North of Fort Morgan, as of right now, is our one tornado warning. Keep you up to the latest on the Kansas and as well as the Oklahoma and Texas storms. Again, this is the one tornado warning near Fort Morgan. We might get a new tornado warning here shortly, so we're going to keep you updated with the latest on this one. This is, again, near the Jackson Reservoir as well as Goodrich and Weldona. That's kind of included in the warning right now. This may track a little bit more to the southeast, though, so it'll be definitely something to watch here over the next several minutes. Thank you, Mopar, by the way, for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate that. Falcon, Colorado. Falcon, Colorado. I got to figure out what that is first. Oh, that's north of Colorado Springs. Take a look at that. Oh, this one right here. Yeah, I think this is a storm, again, producing maybe some damaging winds near Coronado Springs, but as of right now, it's, I believe, moving off to the east. There's not a whole lot of rotation at this point, but this is definitely going to be producing some core-sized hail and damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. There's actually a tornado possible label on this storm, so tornado is definitely not out of the question with this in the near future, but definitely something to watch. Yeah, I'll keep you updated with the latest on that as well. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. I do appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Yeah, Denver, for the most part, is not going to see a whole lot tonight. I think most of the threat is past you. Thank you, Kenneth, Jordan, Crown, Janice, Toasty, Nate, Tyson, Smith, Pink, Chris, and Bridget for all subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Is there 2 tornado warnings? Yes, we got 2 right now ongoing. This is the main one, though. This has had the most rotation at this point for the more long duration of time. This one down here, south of Deer Trail, not really rotating that much, so I'm not really concerned about that storm at this point. We'll watch it closely, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy at this point in terms of rotation and whatnot. The rotation's really fizzled out on that storm. This one has a bit more rotation, though, like I mentioned before. Let me go back over to the velocities. And again, we have a little bit more rotation here. There looks actually to be a bit more of a tight rotation here with this part of the storm now. That's kind of one near 144, so we definitely might get a new tornado warning with this. We'll have to wait and see. Again, warning expires in 5 minutes, so 4:30 Mountain Time. But we may very well see a new tornado warning, possibly even for Fort Morgan. So we'll have to wait for that here in a second. For noon, Iowa, for tonight, Abby, you might have an isolated severe storm, but overall, it's just going to be possibly some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. The overall severity, though, tonight in Iowa is going to be fairly low. You have to be in, like, southwestern Iowa if you're going to see anything tonight. Again, we might get a new tornado warning here in a moment, so we'll keep you up to the latest on that. And we'll also go over the Kansas storms. If we don't get a new tornado warning, we'll go over to those here in a minute, but I think we might get a new one. There's still some rotation with this cell. Again, north of Fort Morgan and near Interstate 76 now, so we'll have to watch this pretty closely. Again, Fort Morgan's a bit more of a populated area, along with Brush. I just said, I butchered that name, but Brush. Those 2 areas are kind of maybe in the track of this over the next 20 to 30 minutes, so definitely an area to watch. So as of right now, again, tornado warning is going to continue until 4:30 Mountain Time for this morning. Might see a new tornado warning here pretty shortly as well. That's the latest from the National Weather Service. There's a photo coming in from the Brush, Colorado radar site. We're not going to really see much with it, but there is definitely a lot of dark skies ahead for those areas. It's a very flat terrain as well from Brush, Colorado. So just kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at right now in terms of terrain and whatnot out in front of this storm. So got us right now with that storm. Thank you, Scott, as well as Pooh for subscribing, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Welcome back. Adult Lords. I'd rather be in the broadcast sector. Yeah, NOAA isn't really broadcast. Maryland, for the most part, is going to be not seeing a whole lot today, Swad. You're probably going to just mainly see, if anything, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Okay, how you doing? Welcome. All right, let's go back over to the velocities. This is the latest radar scan. Here's your hail up to the size, again, of $0.50. Look at the velocities again. And yeah, we still have some rotation here. Still have some rotation. Correlation coefficient's primarily picking up, it looks like, on hail right now. So that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of the hail threat, but we're not seeing a whole lot again. There's still some rotation there, so we probably will see a new tornado warning. I would assume. That's kind of what my thinking is right now. Again, the warning expires in 2 minutes, so probably get a new warning. Hey, Defender, how you doing? Welcome on in. How you doing today? All right. Okay, if you have any questions about any of the severe weather ongoing, feel free to let me know. We'll get probably a new warning on this here in a second. And this goes for another couple of minutes for Jackson, Reservoir, Goodrich, Weldona, all included in this ongoing tornado warning. We may see another one pretty shortly as well. By the way, we're only one subscriber now away from 8,800. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, again, I would really appreciate it. Again, we do live streams like this all the time. So if you hit the subscribe button and make sure to click the bell icon down below as well, so you get notified for when our next forecasts come out, as well as our live streams. Do live streams like this all the time. I'll probably actually be, I might go live again tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably be going live again tomorrow. Almost positive I will be going live again tomorrow. But I probably will not be going live Friday. You're in Colorado Springs. Yeah, Colorado Springs has some ongoing damaging winds and maybe a little bit of large hail, but overall there was a little bit of rotation there. We'll have to watch that pretty closely. Colorado Springs scares me. What do you mean by that? All right, again, as of right now, no new warning yet. Might get one here shortly, though. And we got a new warning. All right, so that's for Fort Morgan. All right, so brand new tornado warning for those in Fort Morgan near Interstate 76 and as well as 71. Again, a brand new tornado warning ongoing for these locations. And again, this is going towards Fort Morgan, potentially even going toward Brush. Make sure you're seeking shelter immediately, again, away from windows. Rotation a little bit higher up in the atmosphere has been a little bit tighter. We still have rotation ongoing again up here. This is again to the northwest of Fort Morgan. This storm is going to the southeast. It is rain-wrapped rotation, by the way. You're not going to be able to see this area of rotation if you're in Fort Morgan. So don't try to look out your window. Make sure you're getting close into shelter immediately, because there's no reason to be trying to look out the window right now. Again, brand new tornado warning. We have a pretty large hail core as well that's ongoing with this as well. Possibly $quarter to $half sized hail as well, just to the northwest of Fort Morgan. So again, brand new tornado warning. Seek shelter immediately if you're in Fort Morgan near Interstate 76 and as well as 144. Again, area of rotation right now is included in a very rain-wrapped area. That's where that rotation is as of right now. It is, again, not really going to be able to be seen. It's in a very heavy rained area. We're not looking again at a storm where you can just look out the window and see this. You're not going to be able to do that. So just keep that in mind. Again, stay away from the windows and lowest floor possible. Let me go back over to the velocities as of right now. Wind speeds as of right now, they're not going to be estimated on radar that accurately. It shows up to 80. It's definitely not 80 right now, but the velocities are probably still around the weaker side, maybe 60 to 70 right now with the rotation at the surface. But overall, the velocity numbers are probably around that range. The radar that I use is not usually always accurate. They're rare in Colorado Springs, are they? They're not usually that common in central and western Colorado in terms of tornado threat. Thanks, Rodney. I appreciate that. All right, again, this is the ongoing rotation. Again, where my circle is there, that is where we have that rotation as of right now, with that potential, again, for maybe a tornado at any time. Again, rotation has been a bit stronger over the last several scans. Again, this does include Fort Morgan. So if you're in Fort Morgan, again, make sure you're seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, rotation's located right there. Overall, as I mentioned before, the rotation is not, strong winds, but we very well could see a tornado that could cause some damage. Again, possibly a brief or weak tornado, but overall, definitely something to watch. Again, it's going toward Interstate 76 and possibly even Fort Morgan. So if you're in those areas, again, make sure you're seeking shelter away from windows and lowest floor possible. That's your air rotation as of right now. Hail core, again, just off to the northwest of that. That black area then will be representing your $1.25 size tail right now. Again, all heading down to the southeast. All right. Yeah, if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is a Colorado tornado warning near Fort Morgan. Let me see if we have any new photos or anything like that on Twitter. If we do. Nope, nothing new as of right now. Let me take a look. I don't think we have any traffic cams in this area. Yeah, we don't have really, I don't think, any cameras in this specific area. So just kind of keep you updated with that. Again, doesn't seem like at least we have any sort of cameras, so I can't really get much of a view on this. But again, this is going to be a rain-wrapped area of rotation, so this is not an area that we're looking at where it's going to be something that you can just see out your window. So don't try to look out your window unless you're a professional storm chaser on the ground. Do not try to, go after this storm and try to look out your window. Again, a lot of people do that with these sort of storms, and again, it's rain-wrapped. You're not going to be able to see it. Again, area of rotation right now is located where my circle is. Still got some rotation ongoing there. It's rain-wrapped north of Fort Morgan, heading down to the southeast. Thank you, Blue Stella, B8 Trivia, as well as David for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Scorpion, if there were to be any tornadoes tonight, they'll likely be under EF2. I mean, we're really only seeing EF0 or EF1, I think, tonight. If there's any tornadoes. This is our, I think, 6th tornado warning tonight now. So we've had actually a lot of tornado warnings so far. And we might even see more later. So just keep that in mind. Oh, Level, are you in this area? Yeah, so we have one tornado warning ongoing. We got a bunch of storms ongoing over in Kansas as well. So watch those pretty closely. Yeah, this is our one tornado warning that we have ongoing as of right now. And this is in Colorado, near Fort Morgan. All right, cool. North Carolina, for the most part, just seeing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as the potential for maybe some quarter-sized hail. Other than that, not a whole lot there. Again, I'll go over the other weather once we get the chance. We're primarily going to be focusing on those tornado warnings. And this is, again, the one tornado warning I have is right now, and the rotation has still remained fairly, it's not strong, but it's definitely still there. Moderate, we'll probably call it moderate, but again, that's north of Fort Morgan, heading down to the southeast, going toward Interstate 76. Cody, the other one got, it expired. It should have got canceled, but expired. The rotation really just weakened out pretty quickly there. No problem, Cheryl. Appreciate you tuning in. Okay, we don't have any, I don't think, any new mesocyclone discussions, as I mentioned before. Let's go back over to the velocities. Let's look at them as of right now. Let's go over the storm relative velocities. Pretty similar stuff there as well. Let's take a look at the gate-to-gate shear. Look at some pretty strong winds there. Correlation coefficient, again, not showing a whole lot. We have a lot more just hail at this point. So you can kind of just see the hail in the outskirts. A lot of these yellow and orange colors probably representing at least some heavy rain, if not even maybe a little bit of hail embedded in that as well. Again, we might have even some $1.25 sized hail with this storm. So definitely still a hail threat. Damaging winds, again, obviously a threat as well. Strong downburst winds. Also some rotation, again, could potentially lead to a tornado at some point. Again, this is near Fort Morgan. Eventually might even go toward Brush. So those areas in the track as of right now. Like going between the two cities? I don't know. I don't know about that. This storm's actually been heading a bit more to the southeast over the last several scans. At least the area of rotation has. So it might even go more towards Fort Morgan. Definitely a possibility that we have right now. Hey, no problem, Nick. I appreciate you tuning in. Glad these streams help you out. Glad you're enjoying the streams as well. All right. Yeah, if you have any questions about any of the ongoing severe weather, feel free to put those in the chat. Again, this is the ongoing tornado warning we have as of right now. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings as well in Kansas, excuse me. We also have one again over in portions of the Oklahoma Panhandle as well as Texas. We have, again, a whole area of severe weather ongoing over in the east, basically over in the Ohio Valley and whatnot. Again, we'll keep you up to date with the latest on those as well over the next few hours. But again, we're going to primarily focus on the tornado warnings. And if we have time, again, we'll go over to the other warnings as well. This, again, the one tornado warning we have as of right now, we'll go over to the severe weather in Kansas, as I mentioned before, at some point pretty soon. So stay tuned. So again, the rotation that we have as of right now near Fort Morgan. See, again, the area of rotation that we have moving down to the southeast. There has been a storm, by the way, that's been rotating a little bit in Kansas for a while, but it's not tornado warned. Has had a little bit of rotation. We'll keep an update with that one as well. That's the one, I believe. Let me take a look real quick where that is. Broad rotation, but it's closer to areas near Beaver. So south of Beaver, this is southeast of Hayes. So those over in Kansas. Overall, this rotation has been fairly minimal with this storm. It hasn't really had, it has been strong before, but as of now, the winds overall are a little bit weaker. The velocity is definitely not nearly as tight in the last couple of scans, so we might not see a new tornado warning with this, but we do definitely still have some large hail ongoing with this cell. And this is just to the north of Fort Morgan as of right now, heading down to the southeast, going toward, again, Brush, and maybe even going toward Fort Morgan is basically the areas in the track right now. Again, severe thunderstorm watch going until 9 o'clock Mountain Time. 10 o'clock Central Time for this area in Colorado. We might see a watch later on while these storms kind of develop into a line going towards possibly Kansas and Nebraska, maybe even later tonight. So keep that in mind. Again, southwestern Nebraska, western Kansas, possibly in the track of these storms in a few hours. Again, we have some storms ongoing in Kansas right now. Those could also pose the potential for some severe weather in those locations. Thank you, Jimmy, Jill, Fleur, Love, and Mad Dog for subscribing. I do appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sending that in, Reef. Appreciate it. So somebody's reporting a wall cloud over by Interstate 76 near Fort Morgan. This was about 6 minutes ago. So near Fort Morgan, there's been a little bit of a wall cloud. Apparently dust was kicked up a little bit, but can't really confirm anything as of now. A lot of scud clouds around that as well. Yeah, the storm definitely still has a little bit of rotation. The latest report is we do have a bit of a, we maybe had a wall cloud with this. Heat watch and severe thunderstorm watch. Yeah, basically everything's going right now. Hey Lisa, how you doing? Welcome. Virginia, nice. You're doing well. And velocities as of right now, not nearly as strong as before. We still have a little bit of rotation up there near, again, north of Interstate 76. But it's very rain wrapped, as I kind of mentioned before. We get a lot of hail as well, $quarter to $half sized hail right now. Again, north of Interstate 76, heading down to the southeast, going toward Brush. And again, near Fort Morgan. So just keep that in mind. And zooming out real quick, we still have ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings over. We actually have a tornado possible now on the storm over southwest of Salina. We'll get to that one here pretty shortly as well. That storm's been rotating for a while, so I'll definitely get to that here in a moment as well. The Kansas storm has had a little bit of rotation for a while, so we'll get to that too. This warning, by the way, expires in 4 minutes. We'll see if we get a new tornado warning. I don't know if we will this time around. Rotation's been a little bit weaker in the last couple of scans, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, rotation, again, it's kind of broadening out the last couple of scans, which, again, is good news. But we have had a wall cloud with this, so definitely not out of the question that we get another tornado warning. Thank you, Kathy, Rod, as well as Suzanne, for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Again, this is near Brush. We have a few other storms again down to the south, producing some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and up to ping pong ball size hail. There's actually one down here, by the way, going towards Kit Carson. This one had a tornado warning earlier. Looks to be primarily, though, just damaging winds and that ping pong ball size hail threat. Again, this is the one tornado warning we've been watching for a while. This is again near Fort Morgan. We'll get to the Kansas storms here in a moment as well. We'll try to get to the Virginia ones as well, and as well as North Carolina, South Carolina. We'll get to all those here pretty soon, so stay tuned. No problem, Susan. Appreciate you tuning in. Glad you're enjoying the streams and glad you're getting the info that you need. You believe it showed a wall cloud, but not sure. Somebody sent in there was somebody that posted a wall cloud. But I'm not entirely sure. From the picture, it's a little bit hard to tell. We have a lot of scud stuff around it, a lot of scud clouds, but it looks to be maybe some little small wall cloud kind of in that regard. Does not seem to be that impressive, though. Thank you, RJ, by the way, for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. No problem at all. Appreciate you tuning in. The rotation for the storm in Great Bend. I know. That rotation, I'm surprised there's not a tornado warning on that. This is the other storm, by the way, for reference. I'm going to touch on this real quick, and we'll go back to it after this tornado warning expires, but this storm has been producing, obviously, a lot of damaging winds, but there's also been some rotation on this. I'm kind of surprised, again, it hasn't been tornado warned at all, but there has been some rotation here. You can kind of see it here, again, northwest of Great Bend. If you go to the radar site back off to the north, though, it does not nearly show as much rotation. So it likely is not, rotating to the extent that it looks like here, but there is definitely some rotation here, again, northwest of Great Bend. So we might get, again, maybe a tornado warning down the road. Again, there is a tornado possible label with this storm. And there's also golf ball sized hail, by the way, possible over here near Hanston. So a new threat there. There's already been golf ball sized hail from law enforcement that's been reported there. And a storm over in the, again, Oklahoma Panhandle producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. All right, let's hop over to the Colorado storm, and then we'll eventually go back off to the east here in a second. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome. And this hail core, by the way, just keeps getting larger. The overall hail is probably still up to $half size. Let's take a look at the hail estimates on radar right now. Let's take a look what we got. Hail estimates. Here's a look at the hail as of right now. So hail is probably right around $half size. So you can kind of see $half, maybe up to ping pong ball size hail right now near Fort Morgan. So there is definitely some large hail with this storm as well. So $half size, maybe quarter sized, potentially again up to ping pong ball size hail is what we're looking at right now near Fort Morgan. Again, that's heading down to the southeast. Hey, Obi, this is over in Colorado right now. We got a lot of severe weather across almost all the United States. So there's a lot more than what we're just looking at right now. So, but we'll get to the rest of it in just a second. Again, Kansas is one of the states. Oklahoma Panhandle, anywhere in the Carolinas, East Coast, Ohio Valley. There's a lot of severe weather ongoing right now. All right, we got another tornado warning that actually just got issued with the storm again. This is for those in Brush and just southwest of Hill Rose. So another brand new tornado warning for those with this storm. This is now, I believe, the third tornado warning we've had with the same exact storm over the last about 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Again, as of right now, what we're looking at, again, it's a severe thunderstorm, again, capable of producing a tornado. It is radar indicated. Again, tornado and a possibility for some quarter-sized hail does exist with this storm. And this will go until the timing that the National Weather Service has outlined on this is 4:55 Mountain Time for Brush and Snyder at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's what we got as of right now for those locations. And this is northeastern Morgan County into northeastern Colorado right now. So again, brand new tornado warning just got issued for Brush. Those are the details on that warning as well. Let's go back over to the velocities again on this storm. And tornado warning is still ongoing. And velocities, again, I have not seen anything tight at this point. We saw it a little bit tighter earlier. The overall rotation is not tight, but it is definitely still there. Again, we had reports of a wall cloud with this, so we may have even seen a wall cloud. Definitely not out of the question. But as of right now, I'm primarily seeing a lot more of damaging winds, but we definitely could see a tornado with that storm down the road. All right, let's hop back over to the Kansas storms. I kind of mentioned this before, that these are the ones, this one over here near Great Bend was producing some pretty significant, or not significant, but there was some rotation with this cell. North of Great Bend, we already had 60 mile per hour winds confirmed with this cell. And this look at the rotation as of right now, and it has been there for a while. I mean, we've seen some rotation. It's not tight, but it is definitely strong. Again, from a radar site up in Nebraska and southern Nebraska, it shows it to be much broader. So that's why there's not a tornado warning with this, but there is a tornado possible label with it, because there is definitely a possibility that there might be some rotation that develops here as it goes possibly even towards Great Bend and Ellenwood. So just kind of keep that in mind again for those locations. Correlation coefficient as of right now not showing anything, by the way, so there's not an active tornado on the ground, but there may be one in the near future. So definitely a storm to watch pretty closely. Again, we had a 60-mile-per-hour wind report with this near Great Bend. Again, this over in Kansas, and it is also producing, again, damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and also some quarter-sized hail. That's what we're looking at as of right now with this storm. There's a shelf cloud. Yeah, there's a shelf cloud going through Kentucky. That's associated with that line of storms right now. It's the leading edge of these storms right now over in that direction. All right, let me take a look if we have anything on the Great Bend storm. Great. And let's see. Yeah, so as of right now, Great Bend, nothing in terms of a tornado, but we have a new 60-mile-per-hour wind report again from the Great Bend Airport in Kansas, by the way. So that's the latest update there. But again, no confirmation or any sort of rotation or anything like that. I just closed down my live stream chat. One second. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, again, I would appreciate if you hit the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Again, we're closing in on 8,900 subscribers. We're only 41 away. So if every one of you subscribe real quick, we might be able to hit that. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Would appreciate it. All right, let me find where my live chat is. I just lost it. Again, this is the tornado warning over in Colorado near Brush, just for a reminder. Again, near Fort Morgan. Yeah, there's still some rotation on that storm near Great Bend. But overall, the rotation, again, is not nearly as strong from that radar site off to the north, which is why there's not a tornado warning, but there very well might be a tornado warning at some point in the near future. Out of the question at this point. Definitely been some rotation with that cell. Heading off to the east as of right now. Hey, J-Dog, how you doing? Welcome back. Thank you, Terry, Smith, Edward, Boyce, Jan, Michael, for all subscribing. I appreciate it. Lion as well as Hurricane. Appreciate you guys all subscribing. All right, let me go over to the velocities again on this storm. And again, rotations remain fairly broad at this point with this storm. Not seeing a whole lot in terms of a strong rotation. Looks like we still have a little bit more rotation trying to develop again near 76. So a brand new area probably trying to looks like trying to develop a little bit more again. That's near Interstate 76. Again, going toward Brush. Southwest of Hill Rose as of right now. So those areas, make sure, again, you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows if you're in Brush, and as well as Snyder. Those are the two locations included in this tornado warning. That's where the rotation is as of right now. Again, it's rain wrapped, so it's going to be difficult to see. So again, if you're near Interstate 76, just keep that in mind. Stay away from windows, lowest floor possible as this moves off to the east. We have a new tornado warning, SJS. That's about it. That's the new tornado warning over Brush and Snyder. Winds in upstate South Carolina. There's a lot of damaging winds over across the East Coast and as well as the Ohio Valley today. We have a lot of that ongoing right now. And we'll get to that at some point. I'll just kind of zoom out again. We have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, as I mentioned before, in the Carolinas. Got some up in Montana as of right now. The main stuff that we got going as of right now, let me put on the other radars, just give you an update, kind of on the entire United States. So we got a little area of showers and weak storms over Missouri and western Illinois. Again, a whole cluster of storms out here. A lot of these are just producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. There has been a load of damage reports, by the way, of power outages, so it's very likely we'll see power outages with those severe storms. And even in Virginia, by the way, they're seeing a lot. As well as, again, Montana seeing some clusters of showers and storms. We've got a lot of showers back out near Denver, but other than that, we're seeing, again, a lot of severe weather. Got a strong storm north, again, of Interstate 76. That's trying to develop maybe into a severe storm. This is, again, our one tornado warning we have as of right now. Again, this is near Fort Morgan and Brush, southwest of Hill Rose. So that's what we have as of right now with this storm. Hey, Ro, how you doing? Welcome back. Let me go over to Twitter and see if we have any new updates. So we have I can't show it on screen, but we have another picture. Again, it's a lot of rain with this storm. As I mentioned before, the area of rotation is rain wrapped, so it's not really going to show anything if I show you the picture. But the photo basically just kind of indicates that we have still a lot of rain. It's going to be, again, if there was to be a tornado, it would be rain wrapped near brush. But overall, again, no confirmation on a tornado at this point. Rotation, again, is strongest basically right here. That's kind of where we have as a rotation as of right now near brush. But again, it's nothing that's strong. But it's definitely something that we could see, again, a brief tornado at some point down the road within the next several minutes. Fort Morgan, by the way, has already seen very heavy rain in those areas. That's the latest that we have out of that area. But as of now, no hail or anything like that reported in that location. Yes, Epic, there are storms going that direction. So, again, we'll keep you up to the latest on the Kansas storms as well. I like that, Cody. I like that. Rain wrap tornadoes, yeah, the rain wrap tornadoes are the most dangerous because a lot of people think you can just kind of like look and try to see if there's no tornado, you know, you can just go back and do your normal thing, but that's not true. Rain wrap tornadoes are definitely the most dangerous types of tornadoes that we have. Mark, no, I cannot. Sorry, I don't know why your message got deleted, but no, I cannot. All right, here's again a look at the rotation near brush. Again, rotation's not been that strong. Let's go to the correlation coefficient and possibly indicating again some hail right now near Interstate 76 and just north of brush, but I'm not seeing again anything that pronounced in that regard in terms of having any sort of crazy, you know, strong area of rotation that could be indicating again a tornado on the ground. But again, we very well could see a tornado on the ground at some point in the next few minutes. Still a system to watch pretty closely as it moves off toward brush. And again, southwest of Hill Rose, it will be going towards Snyder as well. Yes, Cody, I did. Yep. It was all back to normal. Let's take a look again at Twitter. I'm not sure if we have anything on there yet. And Morgan County is where the tornado warning is as of right now. Just as a reminder. And the hail core, by the way, is just, it keeps going. I mean, the hail core has been pretty impressive. We're still seeing at least quarter to maybe $half sized hail here near Interstate 76. Again, hail can damage cars and vehicles and whatnot, so again, make sure to bring your car into your garage and whatnot tonight if you haven't already. If you're in Brush or even just east of Fort Morgan, Snyder as well. Again, Snyder's in the track of this as well. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, again, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're now 27 subscribers away from 8,900. Again, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below. Yeah, it's hot. Summertime and not having an AC is crazy. Sounds good, Link. Stay safe. Thank you for the report. I appreciate it. And that's the area of rotation that we have as of right now. Again, Kansas storm still has a tornado possible label on it. We'll take a look at that here pretty shortly. Actually, we'll go to that real quick. And then we'll go back up to the Fort Morgan storm here in a moment as well. Again, this is the storm over in Great Bend as of right now. I don't know if the rotation's nearly as prominent as it once was. And the rotation, again, not as of right now, is not that strong, but there's still some rotation here north of Great Bend. Other than that, there's still some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail back in this location. Again, that's near Housington. Moving off to the east, again, we've already had a report of 60 mile per hour wind report over there near Great Bend. So just kind of keep that in mind. And we also have a $half-sized hailstorm going on right now to closer to Hanson as of right now. That's, again, moving off to the east-northeast. And we have another cell in the Oklahoma panhandle, by the way, near Beaver. That's moving off to the north as of right now. That definitely could produce the potential for some damaging winds and maybe a little bit of large hail. And we also have a storm again over closer to Kit Carson. This is producing some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and as well as ping pong ball sized hail. That is also moving off to the east. Looks to be a bit more outflow driven, but that is going off toward that direction. That again was tornado warned at one point earlier. No longer is tornado warned at this point. But this storm again over near Fort Morgan and as well as up closer to Brush is still tornado warned. Again, this storm's been rotating here for a while. So moving again off to the southeast. Snyder's gonna be next in track of this. Again, the velocities, taking a look at that real quick. We still have a little bit of rotation. It's broad as of now, but definitely could redevelop. So we'll keep that really, we'll still be watching this very closely over the next several minutes as it moves down to the southeast. Thanks, Patch. I appreciate that. I know, Roads, but it's crazy. Yeah, overall, Montana tornado threat's low. All right, I'm going to real quickly take a 1 minute break. Just 1 minute. So I'll be right back here in a moment. Again, we'll keep the radar on here for you. I'll be back in 1 minute. Stay tuned. While I take a quick 30 to 45 second break, I'd like to remind you to hit that like button down below. It really helps our page out a lot. Also, if you have not already, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. It'll give you our latest forecasts and live streams here on our YouTube channel. Also, make sure to hit that little bell icon to the right and click all so you get notified on when those live streams and videos come out. And if you'd like to support our page above and beyond, click the first link in the description. It'll redirect you to a membership page. For as little as $2.99 per month, you can become a member on our YouTube channel, which includes exclusive forecasts, and as well as a chat badge in both the live streams and comment section, and some emojis to go along with it, which you can use in live streams and as well as in our comment section. I'll also give you a shout out here on stream. We'll be back in about 15 to 20 seconds. All right, we're back. Thank you everybody for staying tuned. Back to the tornado warning again, your brush, and then we'll go over the other storms, by the way, here in a moment. Yeah, this is what we're looking at as of right now. That's actually the first break I've taken on a stream for a while. Thank you, Christopher, by the way, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Take 2 minutes? No, I only took one. I never take more than 1 minute, usually. Brush got hammered. Yeah, Brush is definitely getting hammered right now. I mean, there's a lot of rain and possibly even some hail as well. Okay, Moxie, sounds good. I'll look at it in a second. Thank you, Christopher, for another $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. That's a cool picture, Moxie. Thanks for sending that in. I appreciate it. As of right now, Defender, this is our tornado warning again over in Colorado. We got some severe thunderstorm warnings over in Kansas, and then we have a whole slew of severe thunderstorm warnings over in the Carolinas and Virginia. Again, we'll give you those here pretty shortly as well. We got a couple up in Montana as well, but we're not going to really focus too much on Montana, but we'll definitely look at that if there's any significant severe weather up that way. Thank you, MyList, link as well for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. And thank you, RJ, by the way, for becoming a storm chaser here on our YouTube channel. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I do appreciate you becoming a storm chaser and enjoy your benefits as well. What is that purple oval? Oval. I don't see an oval. Are you talking about this though? This is a tornado warning. Severe storms in Montana. It's a little bit unusual, but it's somewhat more common during the summertime up that direction. And really with the weather pattern that we have as of right now, I mean, it's just everything's basically in the northern or central plains. Montana actually will have several days of potential for severe weather, so. Zoom out. Oh, that's a mesocyclone discussion. That's just what the Storm Prediction Center issues. All right, let's go back over to the velocities. As I mentioned before, there's still a little bit of rotation here near Brush as of right now. Again, that is east of Fort Morgan now. This is again going towards Snyder right now. So Snyder's probably going to actually hit probably within the next minute. Again, heading down to the southeast, it'll eventually most likely go toward more rural locations. But again, that's where the rotation is as of right now. Just to the south of Brush, where we got the rotation as of right now. I'm heading down to the southeast. Let's go back over to the storms in Kansas real quick. We'll go back to that tornado warning in a moment. These storms, again, have had a little bit of rotation, especially the one near Great Bend. We have 2 wind reports. We actually had an 81-mile-per-hour damaging wind report at the Great Bend Airport. So that is actually brand new news now, just southwest of Great Bend. This is at 5:48. It's only 12 minutes ago. There was an 81-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Great Bend Airport. So that's, again, brand new news on this storm. This is, again, that severe thunderstorm ongoing right now. Again, this actually still has a little bit of rotation embedded with it. Strong winds still ongoing, but we actually did have a report of now an 81-mile-per-hour damaging wind gust. That is extremely high. That's brand new there. The severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, north of Dodge City, no longer warned. There's still a cell, again, over in Oklahoma Panhandle that still has a severe thunderstorm warning ongoing there for some damaging winds. Yeah, an 81-mile-per-hour wind gust report was confirmed there near Great Bend. So that's the latest on that. We also have a new wind report over in south of Denver. This is near Colorado Springs. A 60-mile-per-hour wind gust was reported over in El Paso, excuse me, County, Colorado. That is southeast of Black Forest. All right, we'll keep you updated with the latest on this tornado warning. We're going to go over to the Virginia storms and whatnot here pretty shortly as well. I know a lot of you guys are wondering about those. We'll get to those here pretty momentarily, so stay tuned. No problem, Strange. No problem at all. Thank you, Reef, by the way. I appreciate you sending the photos to me. Yeah, dark skies over areas near, you know, brush and whatnot. Even when it was over New Raymer, too. That area, are they seeing storms right now? Is that what that is? A different storm? There's some storms back out to the west. There was a tornado warning up that direction earlier, too. So we've already seen a couple of tornado warnings now. All right, cool. So it's going towards Snyder here over the next couple of minutes. That's what we got as right now in terms of this ongoing storm that is tornado warned. And currently heading down to the southeast. And again, velocities right here. Wind speeds estimated by radar still around 45. Usually it's a little bit higher than that, though. Sometimes it's underestimated on this radar. But as of right now, again, the area of rotation is now south of Brush. I'll give it probably about another 3 to 4 minutes. And after that, I'm going to go over to the other storms in the Virginia area as well as into the Carolinas, because I know a lot of you guys are wondering about those storms. We'll get to those in a couple minutes, so stay tuned. Expected tornado warning over in Wolf Point, Montana. Okay, let me look at that real quick. I'll look it on my phone. Is there a pretty bad storm up that direction? Oh, Wolf Point, that's up there. Let me look. Wow, that's an impressive storm. That is a very impressive looking hook. The rotation is not very strong with it, but it is an impressive looking hook. Without a doubt. It's up in Montana. I'll show you guys real quick, just kind of giving me an idea of what I was looking at. So this is the storm up in Montana. I'm not going to really cover it, but this is a storm right now ongoing in Montana. This is the look of the hook, and actually is producing very large hail. Look at that storm. Look at that hook. That's insane. And a lot of large hail, too. That's pretty impressive. I'll have to take a screenshot of this. This is a pretty impressive storm, though. Yeah, I mean, you kind of see. Storm's gonna be crazy. We got a new warning actually over north of Amarillo now. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. That is associated with the storms north of Amarillo. And I know I have some viewers from Amarillo, so I just want to bring it up. That's near Boger as of right now and near Stinnett. That's moving off to the north as of right now. Again, that includes Fritch as well as Sanford, Morse, and Pringle. Those areas include potential for some damaging winds, again, up to 60 miles per hour. So again, that's moving off to the north as of right now. All right, I'm going to give it one more minute on this tornado warning. We'll take a quick look again at it, and then we're going to go over to the Carolinas and Virginia for a little bit. Take a look at those storms as well. And rotation is actually broadening out, so that's good news. We won't probably see another tornado warning on this, which is good news, but it would still have some quarter-sized hail. We'll probably get a new severe thunderstorm warning on this. So for now, I'm going to change it over to the severe thunderstorm warning so we can go and take a look at the storms over in the Carolinas and Virginia, because we got a lot of severe weather ongoing across the East Coast. And then we'll eventually go back to the other storms here pretty soon. Here's a look at the storm right now, though, north of Roanoke. This is a storm producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. That's near Buchanan. That's actually going toward Buchanan as of right now. Glasgow is also in the track of this storm. Again, damaging winds being the main threat with this storm. By the way, we have a severe thunderstorm watch actually ongoing. This got issued a little while ago, but that's going to include areas in Columbia, so South Carolina, through North Carolina, as well as into Southern Virginia. And we have dozens of reports. I'm gonna have to get to all these, but we have dozens of damage reports up in Virginia. We're gonna get to those here in a second as well. But damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and as well as the potential for hail up to the size of ping pong balls will be possible with any of these storms, by the way. But here's a look at a lot of these damage reports. We're gonna kind of hop to a few of them. There was a few up here that I missed from earlier, some near Charleston. So multiple trees down near Charleston, West Virginia. A tree down at 19794 Kirkle Road or Avenue, and we also had another multiple trees down at Yawkey. I'm probably not going to say a lot of these names right. Power lines down at Hamlin, though. That was over in Lincoln County, West Virginia. So a lot of damage reports there. We also had a load. I mean, there's at least 2 dozen here in Virginia. So we have trees down on Paradise Road. That's in Stonewall. Tree down along Spring Grove Road. That's also in Oakville. We also had another report in Oakville of multiple trees down. Again, this is all associated with the line of storms pushing down to the south through areas like Chase City. We also have another tree down on Bent Creek Road. We also had another tree on Roadway. Trees down. I mean, a lot of these are going to be trees, I think, but a lot of power outages probably in these areas as well. Wires down in Farmville, for example. We actually were watching that storm earlier. Wires down as well as in Verso. And we also have trees down in the Jettersville, and some roads are actually blocked. And we have more damage reports from this area of storms. This is actually more of a, this is a stronger area of storms from earlier. Numerous power outages and trees down on southern Prince George along Route 35. Trees down also near Templeton, and multiple power outages reported as well as near Yale. And trees and power lines down as well as near Joyner. So we had a lot of reports with these storms. Again, a lot of damage most likely with a lot of these storms, and obviously that shows a lot of damage reports so far with these storms. And we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing as of right now. This is the one near Kaysville, Charlotte Courthouse, as well as Drake's Branch, Colon, and as well as Aspen. This is for the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. The storm near McKinney as of right now going towards Lawrenceville and Emporia. That's producing the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Thank you, by the way, Amber, Angie, Southern, Northern, Easton, Craig, and as well as Paulette for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. All right, that was a lot of words there in a few minutes. And we have another storm, by the way, near Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go over to that one. There's actually a wind report of 55 miles per hour. This is for the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as some hail up to the size of maybe pennies. That's moving again off to the, it looks actually pretty stationary right now, but it might be moving a little bit off to the northeast. I have not, Reef. I've not yet seen any damage over there. Here's a look, by the way, at the other severe thunderstorm warnings, all producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. Again, going through most of South Carolina as of right now. Nothing too concerning. Again, a lot of these storms are not overly concerning, but we got a couple, again, ongoing. Here's a look, by the way, over closer to Tennessee, as well as Kentucky. This is a storm ongoing near Columbia for some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. Again, Somerset as well. This line will push down to the south and eventually probably go into areas like Tennessee as well over the next little bit. So some areas to watch for sure over the next several minutes. All right, let's go back up to this tornado warning again. Let's take a look if there's anything new on this ongoing tornado warning. I don't think there is. And again, if you have any questions about any of the severe weather ongoing, including those storms, feel free to put those in the chat. But here's a look, guys, right now at the rotation. It's fairly broad, again, as I mentioned before, near Brush, but there is still a little bit of rotation left there. But I don't think this tornado warning will be continuing at all at this point, but there is still an ongoing tornado warning, so we'll definitely keep it in mind. But also, at this point, the main threat's likely going to be that quarter-sized hail threat and maybe a little bit of damaging winds. We're only one subscriber, by the way, away from 5,000 or 8,900. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. We only need one more of you to subscribe for us to hit the next goal. I'm hoping to hit maybe 9,000 tonight. You never know, we might be able to hit that. All right, let me take a look at Twitter. Radar confirmed tornado hit the tri-state. I haven't seen that. I'm gonna look at this. So in Goshen, Ohio, was that today? Was that yesterday? That was actually today. Huh. I don't think I was live for this. There was actually, I saw it on radar. I was going to go live for it, but I just wasn't able to. The rotation was stronger at the very beginning of the warning, and it started to fizzle out pretty quickly. That's why I didn't go live for it, because I saw it when it was just starting to fizzle out a bit. That was earlier, though. That was around 2 o'clock or so. But yeah, there was, I saw that storm on radar. It looked like there was probably a strong tornado possibly on the ground there for like a brief moment, and it kind of, you know, lifted back up. This purple box is a mesocyclone discussion row, so basically means there's a possibility. It's basically just, you know, kind of the Storm Prediction Center issues a mesocyclone discussion to kind of discuss what's going on in the weather right now and what to expect in the upcoming hours. So there's like a 20% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch over that direction. That's basically what that is. Tornado warning is now past Fort Morgan, Raiden. So those in Fort Morgan, you are pretty much clear for right now in terms of that tornado threat. There's still a lot of lightning though, so don't go outside or anything like that. Yeah, that's insane. I'll have to look at it a little bit more later, but yeah, it looked like there was a lot of damage there. I was hoping to go live for it, but I wasn't able to. It was gonna be too late anyways if I did go live for it. Again, ongoing rotation still is kind of the southeast now at Brush. Likely going to be lifted on this tornado warning, but again, definitely still something to watch over the next several minutes. Definitely could recycle, but chances of that are pretty low. Thank you, Geek, as well as Official and Miami for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, thanks, Reef. I appreciate you sharing all the photos and whatnot on Twitter. Appreciate it. That gives me a little bit of an idea of what we're looking at out there anyways. All right, let's zoom out again. As of right now, the only warnings that we have in Colorado right now is the one, again, over here near Kit Carson. Again, this is producing some damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and again, half-dollar size tail. We also have that tornado warning again ongoing near Brush. So again, this heading down to the southeast. Again, area of rotation is located now down here south of Brush. That's again near Snyder. It's moving down to the southeast. It's about to go out of that tornado warning box. This morning actually might be canceled. But as of right now, no, I don't think there'll be a new tornado warning. This is the third tornado warning, though, in the series of this storm, which this storm's been going for over an hour. So it possibly had a tornado at one point. There was a wall cloud, I'm pretty sure, confirmed with this at one point. So this storm's been a long-lived tornado warning still. Sounds good, Reef. Appreciate it. Yeah, that storm over in Montana is pretty impressive. It's still going, too. Yeah, as of right now, no tornado warnings again over in anywhere of the Carolinas, by the way, for those that are in those areas. Again, only threat in the Carolinas for the rest of the evening, I think, is just going to be damaging winds up to 65 miles per hour and maybe hail up to the size of half-dollars. Aurora, I'll have to look that up. I don't know where Aurora is. Let me take a look real quick. Oh, that's near Denver. You're probably, if anything, you're just going to see rain. Nothing else beyond that, though, Jay. As right now, it looks like just a little bit of rain, maybe a ordinary storm, but no severe weather is expected for your location for the rest of the evening. Yeah, this is the ongoing tornado warning, as I mentioned before, for those near Brush and as well as just southwest of Hill Rose, again near Snyder. It's moving down to the southeast. Let's go back over to Kansas here real quick. Yeah, this is a storm near Great Bend. Storm had a little bit of rotation before. I don't think the rotation's nearly as prominent as before at this point. Rotation's still been going. I mean, this storm's actually been rotating for a good amount of time. It's very broad rotation. Again, that's near Great Bend and Ellenwood, but it definitely has some damaging winds. You can see the brighter greens. Again, that's representing some higher wind speeds, again, as high as maybe 60 to 65 miles per hour. But if there were to ever be a tornado with this storm at this point, it looks to be rain-wrapped. And this storm also produced wind gusts of 81 miles per hour at the Great Bend Airport. So we've already seen some very high wind speeds with this. And we actually had reports, by the way, over in Albert of tennis ball size tail. That was over in Albert from earlier. I didn't even know that. So that's actually over in Barton County, Kansas. That's interesting. That's the latest update over there in Kansas. Tornado warning will likely be let to expire pretty soon here. In Bogue, Texas. Yeah, Bogue, Texas is actually under a severe thunderstorm warning. There's just north of Amarillo that we do have actually a severe thunderstorm warning, which this is the first one we've had in Texas in a while. This storm's just producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour, but there's definitely some heavy rain with it. Yeah, it's definitely a storm to watch. It's going towards Spearman. So definitely something to keep in mind as it moves off to the north. Again, this is near Brush. If you have any questions, anything like that, feel free to let me know in chat. Let me go over to tomorrow. I might go live tomorrow, so if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. As I said before, we are now closing in on 9,000 subscribers, but I think I'll probably be going live tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure when. Tomorrow will be more focused on the East Coast and as well as areas over in the even the Central Plains might have a couple more storms, but pretty much low-end threat. There will be another chance for severe weather in Montana again tomorrow. I will not probably be covering a whole lot of that, but there will be a lot more storm action tomorrow afternoon into the evening across the Carolinas. So I might go live again tomorrow. Also across Kentucky, Tennessee, Southern Indiana, and Southern Illinois. Those areas back in threat for severe weather tomorrow. So we're covering that as well, probably as well. Yeah, Reef, go for it. Yeah, definitely. You can always send me, if you have any photos, anytime. You can always tweet me on Twitter. All right, tornado warning has just been lifted for those in Brush. So if you're in Brush or in Snyder, you are now clear to get out of your shelter. Again, there has not been really a whole lot of rotation over the last several scans anyways. But that's what we're looking at right now. Again, severe thunderstorm watch is still ongoing for the next several hours over in the Carolinas. Again, we'll keep an eye on those. If you have any questions again about those storms, feel free to leave those in the chat. But this is again the storm that we've been watching for a while over in Kansas. This is the one that we've had some rotation with, and it's definitely rain wrapped rotation. Again, it's kind of embedded with this area of storms, but as of right now, again, tornado possible label is still on this storm. Still have some rotation on this, so we'll have to watch it pretty closely. Again, this off to the northeast of Great Bend, going towards areas like Claflin, as well as going toward maybe Bushton, excuse me. Those areas will be on the track of this storm though within the next 20 to 30 minutes. So that's what we're looking at right now. If you want to follow us on Twitter or join our Discord server, I think those links will post in chat here in a second. Stream Elements. So again, you can tweet me photos on Twitter. Follow me as well. Again, we post stuff on there all the time as well in terms of photos. And Discord server, you can join our community. Hopefully it posts in the chat at some point. But Drew, there's a possibility for the Carolinas for flash flooding, but the overall threat is a little bit lower because, again, there's going to be some rain. Obviously, we got a whole area of storms here, but the overall threat, unless there's a stationary storm, it's going to be pretty low. We're not looking at a significant threat by any means today in terms of flash flooding. The links posted in chat, by the way. I don't know if they posted in chat. Yeah, here's a look at Carolinas again for what you're kind of looking at here. A lot of storm activity as of right now. Again, if you're up in Virginia, any of these areas, just be mindful. Damaging winds up to 60 to 65 miles per hour will be possible. We've had dozens of reports of trees down and power outages up in Virginia, and that's associated with the storms up here near Blackstone right now. So we've definitely seen some pretty significant severe weather up that direction. And a lot of the storms, as I've mentioned before, are producing some damaging wind gusts even down there over in the Carolinas. But flash flooding risk, not really there tonight. I don't really expect too much there. Definitely not out of the question, but it's going to be pretty low-end risk tonight. There was actually a funnel cloud over in Montana from earlier. That was over in Skull Butte, I'm saying that right? That was over in that direction. So we actually had a confirmed funnel cloud over that direction. That was up in Montana. Montana's been seeing some severe weather over the last couple of days too. They've been actually been seeing a little bit there. Oh, let's see. I didn't realize I have my desktop audio on. Hopefully it doesn't do anything there. All right, there we go. All right, so my Discord or Twitter did not pop on chat. That's my stream elements has been struggling recently. Let's see if I can try it again. I don't know why it doesn't want to post it. What's the outlook for the Orlando and Daytona Beach area for tomorrow storm risk wise? I'm not entirely sure. I know there won't be any severe weather because they haven't been on the outlook for a while, but there might be, you know, it's pretty typical. I mean, usually in Florida, you see your typical summertime storms. So if you're down in that direction, you're primarily probably just going to be looking at ordinary storms. It's kind of my thinking at this point. Take a look. Yeah, just ordinary storms tomorrow. That's all we're looking at. You know, afternoon storms possible. Possibly along the interstate, maybe around 5 to 8 o'clock, that time frame possibly. Now we're looking at this right now. Yeah, Discord actually posted. So yeah, if you want to join our Discord, the link's in the chat now. From Stream Elements. Alright. Alright, thank you, Mail as well as Janice for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you. All right, we are now 78 subscribers away from 9,000. I'm not sure if we're going to hit 9,000 subscribers tonight, but if you haven't already, I would appreciate it again if you hit the subscribe button. Might be able to hit it tonight, but I'm not sure how much longer I'll be live for. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen a whole lot in terms of severe weather. Again, we have a lot of severe weather ongoing, but a lot of it is pretty minimal at this point. We have a little bit more activity up in Montana right now. For example, I'll show you up in Montana real quick. This is a pretty impressive storm that we've been looking at for a while. This is near Wolf Point. Again, this storm's been producing a significant amount of hail. It's a pretty impressive storm, as I said before. This storm, again, has a little bit of an inflow. Not really anything too impressive, though. Not really rotating that much, but it is producing damaging winds around 70 miles per hour and golf ball sized hail. So it actually has been a pretty impressive storm up here. Again, that's south of Wolf Point, so it's a pretty impressive storm. Hey, Tornado Guy, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive storm over here. And we also got a few others. Again, we got dozens of storms up here in Montana, but none of these, again, really none of them are really rotating, but again, there's a low-end tornado threat over this direction tonight. Hey, Barry, how you doing? Welcome. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good, Tornado. I'm doing pretty good today. Thanks for asking. Been a pretty good day so far. Been a little bit busy, but it's been good. Again, this is a pretty impressive hail core. Let's look at the hail estimates. I'm not sure if it's going to be estimating pretty accurately here, but take a look at what the hail is being estimated by radar. This is a pretty impressive storm. Oops, I just turned it off. The radar is actually estimated it as high as over 3.5 inches at one point. The storm was warned for tennis ball sized hail at one point. I'm not sure if it's that high anymore, but it is still estimating around tennis ball. But it definitely is probably a little bit lower than that. The radar is sometimes a little bit overestimating hail in most instances. It's usually a little bit overestimated, but definitely some pretty large hail with this storm. Heading down to the south-southeast. Great to hear, Bear. Great to hear. Any tornadoes touched down yet? I am not entirely sure. From what I know, I don't think we've seen any tornadoes touch down yet. We haven't had any reports, at least, of a tornado. There was a tornado report up in Colorado, but there was a brief potential tornado near Skull Butte. That was about it, though. We haven't seen any actual confirmed tornadoes yet. We had about 7 or 8 tornado warnings, though, over in Colorado today. We've actually had a lot of tornado warnings, but we haven't really had any confirmation of a tornado. There may have been a brief one at some point, but a lot of the tornado warnings were in pretty rural areas. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, over in Kansas. This is a considerable threat now for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and as well as the potential for golf ball sized hail. So brand new warning. Again, this is associated with that storm that was producing winds as high as 80 miles per hour over at the Great Bend, airport. So brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is for Kansas over near Lyons, Raymond, and as well as Ellenwood is currently being hit by that storm. So again, moving off to the east northeast as of right now. Again, make sure you're staying away from windows. Damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour can send debris flying. Just to kind of clarify, the cities included in this, that includes Lyons, Sterling, Ellenwood, Chase, Eldon, as well as Raymond and Cecilia. So those areas are included. Silica. I'm studying in college right now, Beast. Honestly, I know most of my knowledge comes from stuff before college anyways, but yeah, Reef, you're correct. Yeah, I saw it on radar when it happened. I was not live when that happened, but there was very strong rotation up that direction earlier today. Make sure we don't have any other warnings as of right now that have been new. Yeah, this is a brand new warning over in Kansas. Again, producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and golf ball sized hail. So just an update there for you. Would head down toward Oklahoma. There's actually been some rain up in northwestern Oklahoma. Obviously, it's probably not close to you, but there has been some rain over in that direction. There's just this very strong high pressure ridge right now, just dominating the southern plains right now. And it's not going to really leave anytime soon, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hoping that we see something, you know, maybe like even a weak tropical storm that brings a lot of rain, but it's unfortunate. We're not really seeing anything. The pattern's just been very brutal for the southern plains this year. And honestly, the southern plains has had very average, if not even slightly below average seasons over the last couple of years. So we're kind of due for something like this anyways. Yeah, it's definitely not typical. I mean, we've seen, again, if you're in like North Texas, for example, I believe 1980 and 2011 are our two most recent, most significant years in terms of heat. This looks like to be another one. Our last one was only 10 years ago, so it's kind of crazy to think. Yeah, climate is definitely changing down that way. Yeah, the jet stream is going to keep that high pressure ridge across the southern plains probably for the next several days. There is just no signs of really any relief. There might be a weak cold front this weekend, but it's not going to be significant. All right, thank you, Frizzo, Lizzie, and as well as Rich for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Connor, don't spam, please. And yes, this is Kansas. This is what we're looking at right now. Yeah, there's been some rotation with this storm. It's not anything that impressive, but there has been rotation for a while. Tornado possible label is actually not on this new severe thunderstorm warning, but there is still some broad rotation with this. Main threat, again, is going to be most likely damaging winds. Again, up to 70 miles per hour. There's a possibility if you're in northern Oklahoma, though, you might see some storms over the next, 5 to 6 days. Pretty low-end risks, but they do exist. And even the western Texas area, there's also risks there as well. Oh, again, we have a load of severe thunderstorm warnings up in Montana. We got a load again over in the Carolinas. Yeah, if you have any questions regarding any of those storms, feel free to leave those in the chat. But those, again, are moving all off. At least the ones on the East Coast are all moving to the East right now. We are now 66 subscribers. I know it sounds like a lot, but we're only 66 subscribers away from 9,000. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, again, I would really appreciate it. You might be able to hit 9,000 subscribers tonight if you hit that subscribe button. By the way, 80% of you that are watching right now are not subscribed. I know that because that's like the statistic. So if you're not subscribed, I would really appreciate it. We have that statistic here on YouTube nowadays. You're talking about my computer, Bear? Hey, Lemur, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. How you doing today? Is there a warning in Tampa? Are you talking about Tampa, Florida? Because if you're talking about Tampa, Florida, no. No warnings over that direction. It's actually, looking at the radar, there's a lot of storms over there. Might be some gusty winds. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Welcome back. How you doing today? Hey, Christian, welcome back. Tornado, I know a lot of people would kind of make that little mistake. It looks like there's rotation. If you look from like every radar angle, I mean, it looks like there is, other than this one up in Nebraska. If you go up to this one, you have to look at several radar angles in some cases, and also kind of look at the overall, you know, feel of the storm. Look at the velocities from that radar angle. The rotation that it indicates is extremely broad here. It's just a lot broader in terms of that rotation there. That's kind of where the rotation is showing on these other radar sites. So you kind of have to look from different radar sites. You got to look at, you know, upper levels too, and whatnot, to be able to determine if there's actually some rotation with this. And that's why there's no tornado warning right now with this storm. Let me go back to the base velocities here, and there's some rotation here. You kind of see it. There's rotation. It's just not strong. But if you go a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, it still shows. But if you go, you know, from a different radar site, not nearly as strong. And again, correlation coefficient is not picking up on any debris. It's picking up on hail, but it's not picking up on debris right now. So kind of what we're looking at as of right now with that. I know, Lemur, it's crazy. No, Connor, I do not. Good to hear, Denise. Glad you're doing well. When's Manhattan, Kansas going to get hit? I'm not entirely sure if you'll see any storms in the near future. It might be at least about 4 to 5 hours, if not maybe a little bit longer. There is going to be a weakening line of storms out of Colorado that might come into Kansas later tonight. Let me take a look at the latest radar update from our latest future radar. I'm not sure if anything's really changed, but take a look at that real quick and see if I can give you an estimated time of arrival. Currently, the projected time might be 11 o'clock Central Time for maybe this area of storms if it makes it that far. Otherwise, you will not probably see storms until after 3 a.m. Central Time. Now we're looking as of right now. So yeah. Thanks, Beast. I appreciate it. I've never watched him. I don't know what he really does, but I know he does weather, but yeah, I do interacting and whatnot. Jerry, we have more than 23 likes. We have like 500, I think, now. You might have to refresh your page. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate that. No problem, Connor. Anything in northern Kentucky, if you see anything tonight, it'll be damaging winds around 60 to 65 miles per hour. Again, make sure you're watching your National Weather Service for the latest warnings. We will keep you updated if there's any new warnings over there, though. Oh, wait, Kentucky. Oh, excuse me. I thought you just said Tennessee. I don't know why that just went through my head weird. Kentucky, though, northern Kentucky, you're pretty much clear for the night. Sorry. But northern Kentucky, you're clear. If you're in northern Tennessee, I meant northern Tennessee, there might be some severe weather. Maybe a little line of storms coming that direction. Thank you, Gator, Larry, Fork, and as well as William and Tornado for subscribing, guys. I do appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. Again, this is the warning ongoing over here in Ellenwood, as well as Lyons, Raymond, as well as Sterling. This is, again, for damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour, and as well as that potential for some golf ball-sized hail. Again, this storm's moving off to the east-northeast. Has been rotating for a little while. We had, again, an 80-mile-per-hour wind report from earlier near Great Bend. We also had tennis ball-sized hail confirmed with this storm. We have a flash flood warning, by the way, northeast of Colorado, or yeah, Colorado Springs. So a new warning there. And that's what we got going as of right now. Again, we'll kind of keep an update on the other storms as well. If you have any questions again on those, feel free to leave that in the chat. It's been good, Christian. How's your day going? Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? From Jamaica. Nice. You're doing well there. Again, let me go over to the hail radar. It says up to golf ball size. I'm not entirely sure if we're looking that high right now, but let's take a look. Oh, it's up to golf ball size right now. May have been at one point. There was a tennis ball sized hail with this storm, though, and it was not really showing that high earlier. Hail right now being estimated by radar is actually pretty close to golf ball size. 1.6 inches in diameter is being estimated near Ellenwood. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Yeah, 1.5 inches, possibly about 6/10 of 1 inch there, possibly around again, possibly golf ball sized hail still falling with this storm. And there is again damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. And the storm has definitely proved to be producing those winds. We are at an 81 mile per hour wind report at the airport over in Great Bend. As of right now, winds are estimated to be right around 50 to 55. It might be higher than that though, because the radar scope's estimating a bit higher than that in that regard. Good to hear, Christian. Connor, the football team. Depends on what sport you're talking about. Or what league, I mean, you're talking about. No problem, Jennifer. Glad you're doing well. Tennis ball size hail reported up in Montana. Where in Montana? There's a lot of hail in Montana. Already had a lot of hail reports. Yeah, there was tennis ball size hail reported up in Hayes. Keep an eye on those storms too. We had a 66 mile per hour wind report, by the way, over here in the panhandle of Texas. This is north of the panhandle and north of Amarillo. This is near Stinnett. So another high wind report of 66 miles per hour. Let's move off to the north. So a new report there. Yeah, I got you, Stan. I got you. I haven't. The last time I live streamed a tornado being on the ground, I mean, we've had a few tornado warnings today. It's at least been a couple weeks though, I think. In at least 2 to 3 weeks, because I really didn't live stream for about 2 weeks there because I was on a bunch of trips, but that's kind of where we're at this point. By the way, we're only 43 subscribers now away from 9,000. I want to hit 9,000 subscribers hopefully tonight. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, again, make sure to hit it real quick down below. I know a lot of you, about 80% of you, are not subscribed. Hit the red button down below. Again, it's free to do here on our YouTube channel. Keep you updated again with the latest. We might go live. We're probably going to go live again tomorrow for the severe weather event tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Wolf Point, cell is falling apart, is it? That storm was starting to, it still looked pretty strong when I last looked at it. That was about 10 to 15 minutes ago. The rotation was never really that strong, though. There was rotation, but it was very, very broad up there. Beast, I mean, it depends on what you consider chasing a storm, but I've never really chased an actual, like, tornado warned storm. I want to someday, but I just haven't yet. Yeah, someday. Someday I will. See when that happens. I do want to go storm chasing someday. And if I do, I'll probably go live for it so you guys can watch. Man, the damage up in the Goshen, Ohio area is just insane. There's a lot of houses destroyed up that way over in Ohio. There was a tornado warning storm around, I believe it was possibly 2 o'clock this afternoon, maybe 2:30. There was a tornado warning cell. Man, the damage is just crushing for those areas. I'm going to retweet on my Twitter, so if you guys want to go check out the damage, it's going to be on my Twitter. So again, my Twitter handle is @MaxVelocityWX, or you can also go to my link in the description below to find that. But yeah, there's some pretty significant damage up there in Goshen, Ohio. There was a tornado that ripped through that area earlier today. And that tornado, again, I was hoping to go live for, but rotation already kind of subsided by the time I was able to, go live. So I didn't go live for it, but pretty insane. Tornado, no, you don't. Great Bend is only just seeing storms. Really ordinary storms are there now, maybe a little bit of gusty winds, but other than that, the severe weather is kind of off here to the east, near Ellenwood right now. Let's go back to the velocities with this. Again, there's been some rotation with this for a while. As of right now, again, no strong rotation, still very broad. Very well could develop at some point, but main threat, again, is going to be damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Hail core there, possibly up to golf ball sized hail, heading off to the east as of right now. Is Delaware supposed to get hit? Let me take a look. For tonight? I don't think you're going to see a whole lot tonight. You might see some storms later tonight, possibly like overnight, closer to midnight or 1 in the morning, but it looks to be mostly just ordinary storms. Simple. Sorry, I don't know why you just got timed out. I don't know if I can untime you out, though. I apologize. I think Stream Elements did that. Sorry about missing your message, by the way. No, viewing Great Bend too. Yeah, the Great Bend storm has been pretty impressive. I mean, there's been some broad rotation on it for a while, but it's been a pretty impressive storm to say the least. That storm's been going for a while. And it's been holding its composure too. I mean, it's even strengthened since the last time we looked at it. I mean, yeah, it's up to 70 miles per hour. Again, golf ball sized hail. It was up to 80 miles per hour at one point by the Great Bend Airport. Again, it's going possibly towards McPherson, Lindsborg, areas off to the east. So definitely an interesting storm overall. Thanks, Timothy. I appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the streams and whatnot. Appreciate it. Thanks, R2D2. I appreciate that. I like your name, by the way. Like your Star Wars name. It's awesome. We are now 28 subscribers away from 9,000. Again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. We are only 28 away. That is literally my only goal for tonight, is just to hit that subscriber goal. So again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, again, I would really appreciate it. 9,000. That's a lot. Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. Let me go and show you real quick. So again, I'll probably go live for tomorrow's severe weather event. This is a look at the overall risk for tomorrow. So there's a marginal risk of severe weather. It looks crazy, but there's a marginal risk that extends through eastern Colorado into the northern Texas Panhandle, into Kansas, eastern Nebraska, into Iowa, Missouri. There is a slight risk of severe weather across basically the same areas as what was today. For tomorrow, again, that does include areas like Charlotte, Virginia Beach is also included, Tennessee, southern Kentucky. There's again another slight risk of severe weather for those up in Montana as well. So that's kind of where we'll look at our threat for tomorrow. And again, just for comparison, today's threat is this. It's not much of a difference. The only difference is the severe weather is a little bit further south tomorrow for those over in the Ohio Valley and East Coast. And in comparison, the severe weather threat up in Montana is basically the same as today, just slightly further back to the west. And slightly lesser of a threat across areas like Colorado today as well. We have a brand new report, by the way, of hail of 1 inch. And with a large tree limb that fell as well over in Ellenwood. So brand new report there. Again, we've already seen up to tennis ball sized hail with this area of storms as well. Hey, Vicky, how you doing? Welcome back. How you doing today? Patriots, Connor. Thank you, Ezekiel, as well as Paul and Toby, and as well as Gal for subscribing, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome. Another small hook on that Wolf Point storm. Yeah, that storm's been going for a while. It looks like a hook. It's definitely like it's almost like a false hook. Because there's a whole lot of inflow going to that storm. That's the one thing about it. Actually, it looks to be a little bit stronger now. It looks like it actually has a hook now. Has a little bit more inflow, actually, this time around. I'm doing well, Vicky. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Glad you're doing well as well. You think Colorado will go slight tomorrow? Let me take a look at the future radar for those areas tomorrow. I don't know if they will get a slight risk, but... I mean, today they were under slight risk, and the severe weather has not really held up there today. A lot of strong storms right now, but nothing too severe yet. We had a few severe storms, obviously, earlier. I don't think it'll be upgraded. I don't think so. The overall setup for tomorrow in Colorado is not nearly the same as today. And it's actually a little bit weaker than yesterday. Or, excuse me, a little bit weaker than today, I mean. So, overall, I don't think there'll be anything upgraded there. And overall, I don't think the Central Plains will really see much tomorrow. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit less of a risk tomorrow than today. I got you, McLovin. Yeah, they've been struggling recently. They got to the playoffs last year, but who knows what will happen. Severe warning in Alabama. Take a look. Broncos have been struggling too. At least they got a new quarterback though. Take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning. We got a bunch of warnings over here on the East Coast right now, but this one's for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. That's near Scottsboro. So this is pretty typical severe weather for this time of the year across these areas like the southeast and East Coast. Again, this is near Scottsboro as well as Hollywood and section. Langston is also included in this. Again, this isn't over in Alabama, so let's move down to the southeast. Storms in Georgia have been pretty minimal as well. We see some storms over here in the Carolinas, over near Greenwood right now. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour possible in these areas. Again, these storms are currently drifting down, it looks like, to the east. This one actually moving off to the north near Lawrence, so that's what we got going as of right now in these areas. And there's also a storm again going on in Raleigh. Let me go over to this one real quick. This one's producing some pretty high damaging winds, 55 miles per hour. We also had some structural damage to a house over in Nightdale. So that's the latest that we've seen there. What's the largest hail I've ever heard from a storm? Well, I've covered storms here that have been as high as, what was the highest hail size? I think it was 6 inches in diameter was the highest I've ever been live for, but the highest I've heard of, I think, was like 8 or 9 inches, possibly a little bit larger than that. That's from one. That's usually just like one hailstone, though. It's not usually like several. Flooding rain in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of rain over that direction, too. Welcome back, Defender. By the way, we're only 14 subscribers. Only 14 away from 9,000. If you have not hit the subscribe button again, I would really appreciate it. That's my last goal for tonight. If we can hit 9,000 subscribers, that'd be amazing. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. If you've already hit the subscribe button, I really appreciate that as well. Only need 14 more subscribers. More Montana. Let me go up to Montana here real quick. Is that the storm over here? Here, Richie. This storm had a bit more of an inflow up here in Montana. This storm's been pretty impressive. Yeah, rotation looks a little bit stronger. I'm not entirely sure, though. I'm only looking from one radar site. Is this the one and more, though? It looks like the other storms are pretty minimal. This has been the main storm in Montana today, as if you're just curious. I mean, this storm's been rotating here for a while. It's been a pretty strong storm, producing some fairly large hail as well, going down to the south-southeast. Funnels right now, I don't think there's any confirmed as of right now in terms of funnel clouds. Yeah, there was some that tornado over in Ohio is crazy. Photos on that are just insane to see. That was a very dangerous tornado-warned storm. We are now 3 subscribers away from 9,003. I just need 3 more of you to hit the subscribe button. 3 more and we hit the subscribe goal for tonight. I would really appreciate it again if you hit the subscribe button down below. If you're new here. Only need 3 more subscribers for 9,000. That's insane. How many subs before you get a Powerwall with monitors, touchscreen action, dressed up in a suit? I don't even have a clue. That's something that I can't really answer for you. that's a pretty crazy setup if we're talking realistic there. We've officially, by the way, hit 9,000 subscribers. That is insane. I appreciate everybody hitting the subscribe button. We've officially done it. Officially hit 9,000 subscribers. Appreciate everybody subscribing. We actually just went over that. You can see here, 9,000. Appreciate everybody subscribing. Is incredible. I cannot believe it. Thank you everybody again for subscribing. I appreciate it. I don't know who the 9,000 subscriber was, but I appreciate everybody subscribing, as always. Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate it. Yeah, more Montana. I don't know where more Montana is. Let me look it up. I'm guessing it's this storm, though. Is that the one you're talking about? Pretty small town, I would assume. This is in... Wait, this is like central Montana. Where am I at? Over here somewhere? It's like the dead center of Montana. I cannot find... Is it this one over here? Near Hayes, maybe? Man, my directional skills right now in Montana are horrible. I've never been to Montana before, so I couldn't really tell you. Which one is it on here? Can't figure it out. This one? Where is more? Near Lewistown. Okay, that'd be great if Lewistown actually showed up on this map. There's like no towns that are showing up on this map. I don't have road data either for Montana, so that's probably a problem. Let me zoom back on this storm for a second. Let me go over to the Montana. Let me download the Montana road map. So this makes it a little bit easier for me. Go over to the... Here we go. All right, the roads on here. I've never done a Montana live stream before. This will be the first. All right, let's go over here to Montana. Here's the road data, so this will make it a little bit easier. And it does not seem like there's many roads here either, so that does not that does not help. All right, so it's in between Great Falls. Okay, so it's basically here. Is this it? That seems too far south. Okay, so it has to be this storm. Thinking. South of 2. Where is 2? 2's way up there. Okay, so it's actually the storm down here. Okay, so let's look at the velocities on it. Not seeing a whole lot. I'm honestly just lost. I've been looking, Cam. I've been looking at Google. I'm telling you right now, it is not being very helpful. I'm not really very known to be knowing about Montana. This is a storm over here that's a little bit of rotation near 191. Is this the storm maybe? Southeast of Hayes? Beast, I've never looked into it, so. Denise, I was literally at 8,000 2 days ago. That's crazy. I had 500 last night, 500 I think tonight too. It's crazy. Louisville is at the bottom left of your screen. Was? Okay, which warning? Just tell me. Which one of these is it? Is it like... Kind of give me a general idea. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. And why is it so hard for me to find towns in here? Oh, wait, it's right here. Oh, okay. Oh, my God. Why was I not being able to find that? So this storm right here near Lewistown. Okay. Is there any radar sites over here, though? Let's take a look at the radar here. There's a radar site down here near Billings. Okay, we'll go to that one. Could even go to the one over here. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere over here, though. It's up there. Okay, so let's stick with this one for now. So you're talking about this storm? So it had rotation or something like that, you said? A little bit of rotation? I'm not saying a whole lot in terms of rotation, but there's looks to be a little bit of a strong storm developing. Yeah, Storm Chaser. I'll get to that in here in a second. Sunday, severe weather will be a nightmare with Minnesota radar coverage. Yeah, I'll probably be live for that one too, but we'll see what happens there. That's gonna probably, I think the Sunday event will have a bit more of a tornado threat overall. All right, let's zoom back out. Let's go to some of the other warnings in a bit more populated areas, but oh, he had rotation on there. What, really? It didn't look like there was a whole lot of rotation with that storm, at least on radar. I don't know who Tornado Raiders is, but by the way, again, for those over in Kansas as of right now, this storm is now down, let's see, it's still golf ball sized hail, damaging winds around 70 miles per hour. Has not changed since the beginning, but this is again going towards Lyons and Sterling and Little River. A couple of other warnings back out here to the east, as I mentioned before. Somebody mentioned Georgia, I think. There's not a whole lot in Georgia. It looks like just strong storms as of right now, but there is some storms producing some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. And Roanoke. Okay, let's go up to Roanoke. Roanoke is actually, there's actually a severe thunderstorm going through that area. This is from the line, I think. Roanoke is going to see some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. That also includes Salem, Vinton, Troutville, Newcastle, and as well as Stewartsville and Montvale. Those areas are included. Yeah, I know, Storm Chaser, I did. That's crazy. I can't believe it. Thank you, Hole, Dennis, James, Connie, Carol, Nancy, excuse me, as well as Ice and Hey, That's Me for subscribing, guys. I appreciate that. Welcome. Cam, I don't know, but this has been a pretty brutal year. We haven't had a year like this in a while. I mean to do that. All right, cool. Yeah, again, this is what we got going as right now. This is the storm again near Roanoke. It's producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Again, it's moving down to the southeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. I think it might be going a little bit faster than that, but as of right now, that's what the radar's estimating. But it is going down to the southeast toward Roanoke. Got a bunch of, I mean, this is insane. You see all these blue boxes on the map, by the way? Those are all damage reports. And I mean, it's insane how many are on here because we usually don't see that many. There's at least about 25 or 30 on this map right now, possibly even a bit more than that. And that's just in this Virginia 460 stretch alone, near Farmville, as well as over toward Lynchburg and going even towards like Bladestone. I mean, there's just damage reports everywhere on this map. So it is pretty impressive how many damage reports we've seen from these storms, and they're all just warned for 60 mile per hour damaging winds. But again, Virginia has a lot more trees and whatnot, a lot more mountains as well. And when you go a little bit higher up, like for example, if you're near a mountain, like, you know, a couple thousand feet up, for example, I mean, we're talking the potential for winds higher, like 70 miles per hour in some instances, or even 80. So how you doing, Hank? From Belgium. Nice. Hope you're doing well. So the end of the season can have tropical storms. I don't know. The tropical season so far has been pretty average, but I do think there'll be a bit more of an uptick of activity in mid to late July. I'm pretty certain we'll see something maybe closer to late July, not really mid July. We'll probably see a little bit more though going towards the later portions of the month. Hey James, how you doing? Welcome. Yes, Aaron, I will do that here in a second. This is another storm, by the way, near Raleigh that's producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. Not really much of a hail threat there. So North Carolina, you said? Southern North Carolina. Are you talking about the one near Charlotte? The storm here? I don't know if there's a radar site over here. But this one's producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. That's near Monroe right now, going toward Wingate. It's moving down to the southeast, by the way. So if you're in Marshville, you might get a little bit clipped by that storm, but that's also producing some damaging winds around 60 miles per hour, and as well as that potential for maybe a little bit of quarter-sized hail as well as that moves down to the southeast. Hey, John, how you doing from Ottawa? Hope you're doing well up there in Canada. How you doing, Borda? Welcome back. 2 a.m. That's usually how long I'm up till. Yeah, that's what we got going as of right now with these severe thunderstorm warnings. Simple, there's a possibility, but I think it's going to be a pretty low chance at this point. But there's definitely a possibility. We actually have a new warning over there in Colorado. Let's hop over to this real quick. We were supposed to have a line of storms developing in Colorado. Let me take a look at that real quick. There was supposed to be a little bit of a line developing, and yeah, we have that line developing now. But this is an area that we might have like an isolated tornado develop, but that's moving off to the east, as I mentioned before. So definitely a storm to watch. I'm getting messaged by somebody. And also, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, over in Pueblo. I'm probably not saying the name right, but that's off to the west. I took Spanish and I can't even say these names. But this is going for the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail going toward Interstate 25 and 87. And a lot of outflow boundaries, by the way, carrying these storms. Outflow boundaries carrying this line of storms. Again, this will all move towards areas like Nebraska, like southwestern Nebraska, as well as western Kansas, over the next several hours. So that will be basically what the next round of severe weather will be in those areas. Just look at the storm, by the way. It's still producing damaging winds around 70 miles per hour and a golf ball sized hail. That's again moving off to the east as of right now. Oh, simple. I think the last one, I don't know why, but Stream Elements did it. It's a bot. But I think that you were spamming at one point. That might have been why. Hey, Colton, how you doing? Welcome. How you doing today? You have nothing to do? I got you, Borda. I gotcha. Thank you, Dar, as well as more for subscribing, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Again, now we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. It's crazy to say that, but we actually are. I remember back in the day when we were at 2,000 subscribers, and that was like a month ago. It's crazy to think how much we've gone since then. Again, we will be live tomorrow, so at some point. I'm not sure how long, and I'm not sure when, but we'll be live again tomorrow at some point. Yeah, we got a bunch of warnings ongoing across the Carolinas, and like a lot of them, again, are just damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Look at this storm, though. This one's, again, been having a little bit of rotation. Just kind of take a look at it as of right now. The rotation is still broad, but has been there for a while. Go over to the other radar site from Dodge City. This might give us a little bit better of a view at it. But the rotation's been broad for a while. Again, that is just to the west of Lyons as of right now. It shows really strong rotations. It's really interesting. It shows really strong rotation with this storm, but again, it's not really strong, but it has a little bit of rotation. And I believe there is a tornado possible label on this. Actually, isn't. So there's no tornado possible label on this, but it has that rotation, but very broad rotation overall. Luckily, it's been pretty minimal so far. Thank you, Theodore, for becoming a storm chaser as well here on our YouTube channel. I appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your benefits, and I really do appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you. Indiana, pretty low tonight, but you'll have a chance in southern Indiana for some storms tomorrow. Katie, no, there's no tornado warnings right now. Sleeping is an option, but I have a 2-month summer vacation to spend some time away. There you go. Really do appreciate that, Theodore. Thank you for becoming a member. We're our third member today. I think we're up to 39 members. We only need one more for 40 members. I'm hoping we can hit 50 members this month. That's our goal for this month in terms of memberships. So again, if you want to become a member, you can click the link in the top of the description. Again, it starts from as little as $2.99 per month. We have pretty cheap memberships here on our YouTube channel. But again, you can become a member, get some benefits, get a special badge, by the way, on our Discord server. Now, a little bit more. Yeah, that storm's going toward Lyons. It's actually being fueled now by an outflow boundary. I just realized that. So it is being outflow driven at this point, this area of storms, and it very well likely will go towards areas like McPherson and Lindsborg over the next several hours. I'll put a little track on this, but oops, that's my bloopers reel I'm trying to make right now. But here's a look at the timing. for this area of storms right now. And I just made a horrible track. Let me try that again. Here's a look at the track as of right now. And the timing. So Lion 710, as well as Sterling 715, Canalopolis right around 723, Little River 734, Marquette right around 758, Lindsborg right around 818, McPherson 820, as well as Salina right around 838. That's your timing again on this area of storms. As of right now, it's really just one supercell, but it is a little bit more expanded now. Western Maryland won't see any severe weather until probably after midnight, maybe closer to 1 to 2 in the morning. Probably not, Duncan. It'll probably be pretty minimal if you see anything. And again, damaging winds is going to be the main threat up that way if you see any storm development. By the way, I have a new water jug, so when I need water, I have now a jug of water instead of, you know, having to get up all the time. I'll just refill it, but when I need it. Yeah, this is moving off to the northeast. Warning just got updated, by the way. It is still for the potential for damaging winds around 70 miles per hour, and as well as golf ball size hail. That's still the threats with this storm. Again, it's had some broad rotation for some time, but again, Lions in the track of this, Little River. We'll probably get a new warning here pretty soon. We're gonna try out this water. You know what's crazy? Some people buy like the what's the Fiji water? It's literally the same exact thing as regular water. And it's like really expensive. Anybody ever try Fiji water? It tastes like regular water. Lots of lightning in Mississippi. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning over in Mississippi. It's again, a lot of the storm activity up in northern Mississippi is what's, you know, ongoing right now. So it's kind of what's happening up that direction. Yeah, none of it is really, I mean, the severe weather over that direction is pretty minimal overall anyways. This water is pretty crappy, not gonna lie. This is not, water actually has some different tastes, and this one is not tasting great. Tastes strange. This is a little jug of water that I bought at the store. That's very interesting. Wow, that's crazy, Desert. 5 miles per gallon. That's crazy. That's really low. That's all I gotta say. Is Lions, are sirens going off? It's probably for the damaging wind and hail threat, Tim. It's not, there's no tornado warning, but the main threats, again, sometimes sirens go off for like severe threats. Might be rainwater. I have no clue. It's purified water, it said. I see you, Tim. I see you. It says purified water. I mean, you know, if you look at it, it's just a jug of water. I don't know. It tastes different. Thank you, Michelle, Resistance, Julie, Esther, hopefully I'm saying your name right, or Jackson, as well as Mary and Crabin for subscribing, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. Will this maybe be a tornado? Probably not. I mean, the storm has had some rotation, but the overall threat of a tornado is pretty low tonight. Bordeaux, the average is usually like 800 to 1,000, I'm pretty sure, per year. But this year, I don't know how many tornadoes we've seen. Let me take a look at it real quick. There's been 736 confirmed tornadoes so far this year, according to Wikipedia, which, you know, might be right, might not be. Apparently, there's only been 18 fatalities, by the way. That is actually a very low number, to be honest, in comparison to what we sometimes see. I'm not sure what 2021 was, but typically that number is higher. There was 1,376 tornadoes apparently last year. And there was, let's see, 103 fatalities last year. So, I mean, it depends on obviously the severity of every one of those tornadoes, but I believe that number has been dropping, which is really good news, honestly. 78 in 2020, for example. So, obviously enough people are getting those warnings nowadays in comparison to what, you know, it used to be. There's obviously a lot more ways to receive warnings as well. No problem, Grim. Thank you, Dozy Drew, by the way, and as well as Haley for being 2-month members. I don't know why the things didn't pop up in chat, but I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I believe they're both Hurricane members, by the way. Appreciate you guys. I don't know if you guys are here. I don't know if it's just an automatic notification or something, but I appreciate that. Maybe Ellie, maybe. I'm not sure. Tim I used to, but not anymore. Cool. Alrighty. Let's see. Just make sure there's no other new warnings. Again, we got a bunch up in Montana right now. Storms are happening really across the East Coast and as well as up into areas like there's one in Kansas and there's a bunch up in Montana. This has been the main storm we've been watching for a while, though. All right, that's gonna be it for the stream, though. I'm gonna cut it a little bit short here. It's been about 3 hours, but I might go live again later. We'll see. Probably not, though. If I do go live, though, again later, it'll be probably pretty short. I will have a live stream again tomorrow. Make sure you hit the subscribe button again if you're new here. Just click the red button down below. Again, we do live streams like this all the time, so hit the subscribe button. We're on the way to 10,000 subs now. Also, make sure to hit the like button down below if you did enjoy this live stream. I would really appreciate it. It gives me good feedback. I hope you did enjoy the stream, though. Again, if you want to become a member on our YouTube channel, we're on the way. Our goal for this month is 50 members, so we're up 40 right now. Hit the little link at the top of the description to become a member. For as low as $2.99 per month, it gets you a lot of benefits. But other than that, that's the it for this live stream. I do appreciate everybody, again, tuning in as always. And again, if you have any questions about any of the severe weather ongoing, you can always put them in the comments. I'll try to get back to them. That's what we're looking at as of right now. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, I hope you guys all have a great night. Again, we'll keep you updated with the latest on our YouTube page. We'll have a forecast tomorrow. I'll probably go live as well tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. Stay safe, and we'll see you again soon.
Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number. Fuel